Okay, sige. Okay. A pleasant afternoon to everyone. So last time yung diniscuss natin is all about statics, statics of rigid bodies. So again, dalawang part yung mechanics, isa statics, isa dynamics. So statics, so yung inaaral natin dito is the effect of forces upon bodies at rest. Kapag moving bodies na, dyan napapasok yung dynamics. So by definition, dynamics deals with motion and with the effects of forces on moving bodies. So meron tayong dalawang branch of dynamics. We have kinematics and kinetics. So ano yung pagkakaiba ng dalawa? Kapag sinabing kinematics, the study of motion without consideration of the forces causing the motion, while kinetics is the study of forces acting on the bodies in motion and their effect in acceleration. So kapag kinematics, hindi natin kino-consider yung forces doon sa motion. Pag kinetics naman, yung effect ng motion and yung effect niya sa acceleration ng isang body. Okay? So meron tayong apat na klase ng motion. So we have uniform motion, uniform accelerated motion, free-falling bodies, and projectile motion. So start muna tayo sa uniform motion. So when we say uniform motion, motion on straight line. So kinematics in one direction. So kapag uniform motion, it is defined as the motion of an object in which the object travels in a straight line and its velocity remains constant. So kapag uniform motion, ang velocity natin dito ay constant. So simple lang yung formula na ginagamit natin dito. So kung matatandaan, sa advanced algebra, formula ng velocity is distance over time. So yung distance natin is represented by letter x. Okay? So lahat ng distance natin, horizontal distance is represented by small letter x. Kapag vertical distance, pag pumasok na tayo ng free-falling body, ang variable natin is y. So I hope clear yun na lang. Okay. So since constant yung ating velocity, no, as I said kanina, therefore, yung acceleration natin dito sa uniform motion is always equal to 0. Okay? So kapag tinanong sa problem, what is the average velocity? So kalimitan ang given dyan is average velocity and also may time din. So average initial plus final divided by 2. Okay? Yan. Okay. Then second one is uniformly accelerated motion. Okay, sa uniformly accelerated motion, yung sa una, no, straight line lang. Dito sa pangalawa, i-consider na natin yung acceleration. Okay? So, there are some cases na gagamit tayo ng derivatives. So, I hope na daanan nyo yun dati no, sa dynamics niyo. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, so x, anong symbol ng x natin? Yan yung distance natin. No? Distance as a function of time. First derivative of x, yan yung ating velocity. Then, second derivative of x with respect to time is our acceleration. So, i-derive natin yung formula dito sa uniformly accelerated motion. So, sa dynamics, excuse me, nung time namin sa dynamics, hindi ako nagkabisado ng formula. So, more on derivation yung ginawa ko. Okay? Sa statics, more on summation of forces, tsaka moment lang naman yun, di ba? So, hindi rin ako nagkabisado ng formula sa statics and dynamics. So, more on derivation. So, try natin, no? Pakita ko yung derivation ng formula. Para in case na malimutan, alam nyo kung paano i-derive. Okay? So, since, yun nga, no, sabi ko kanina, velocity is yung first derivative ng ating distance. Therefore, pwede natin siyang i-write as dx over dt. Okay? Then, acceleration is the second derivative of distance or first derivative of velocity. Pwede siyang i-write as dv over dt. Okay? So, a uniformly accelerated motion, tandaan nyo, the acceleration is always constant. Now, derive natin yung formula. So, we have A is equals to dv over dt. So, i-cross multiply natin yung a dt. Tapos, remain natin yung dv. Then, lagyan natin ng integral sign. So yung dB limits from, yung VO natin is initial velocity, yung V natin is final velocity. Same with A from 0 to T. Kasi time yung kailangan natin dito as limits. Okay? Okay, so integral ng dV is V, no? Then substitute mo yung upper limit minus the lower limit, kaya siya V minus VO. Then A, since constant yan, sabi ko kanina, copy mo lang. Then integral of dt is T. Substitute mo yung upper limit minus lower limit. So T minus 0 or simply T. Okay? Then lipat natin si VO sa kabila. Therefore, first formula natin is VO plus AT. Tatandaan yan, formula yan. So dyan ang galing yan, no? By concept lang. Okay, so dito tayo sa velocity. So velocity is the first derivative of our distance, dx over dt. So same process, no? Cross multiply natin, v dt is equals to dx. Then, lagyan natin ng integral sign. Okay? Okay, since nakuha natin kanina yung formula ng v, which is VO plus AT, i-substitute natin dito sa variable natin. Then write natin yung dt as is, then yung dx din. So yung dx, yung limits niya is from 0 to x, since distance yan. Ito, from 0 to t. Okay? Okay, so integral nito is x, substitute mo yung limit, x minus 0 or simply x. Integral nito is, dito muna tayo sa first term, no? So VO is constant, tapos integral ng dt is t, kaya siya VOT. Then, ito, integral lang, yung a constant, no? So write mo lang siya as is. Yung integral ng t is t squared over 2. Tama? Sa integral, nagpa-plus 1 tayo sa exponent, then kung ano yung exponent mo, let's say 2, yun din yung sa denominator mo. Kaya siya may 1/2 dyan. Okay? T squared kasi kapag sinubstitute mo yung t, minus 0 is simply t. Kaya dito na ko yung formula natin ng distance. So dalawa na yung formula natin. So i-derive natin yung isa pang formula. Tatlo lang naman ang formula dito sa dynamics. Okay? Okay. So again, acceleration is the first derivative of velocity. So i-cross multiply natin, i-write natin siya in terms of dt. Therefore, dt is dv over a. Velocity is the first derivative of our distance. So cross multiply then, i-write natin in terms of dt. So dt is dx over p. Then equate natin, dt is equals to dt. Okay. So dv over a, ito yan. Tapos dx over p, ito yan. Ano? Nilagyan natin ng integral sign. So, yeah. Ito, kinross multiply yan, no? So v dv, tama? Then a dx. So integral ng v is d squared over 2, ano? Tapos substitute mo yung limit. So we have upper limit p, b squared minus the lower limit, po squared. Over 2 kasi raised to 2 yung ating exponent. So basic integration rules. Then for the next term, itong a, no? Integral ng dx is x, substitute mo yung x minus 0, so simply x din yan. So dyan na-derive yung third formula natin. So i-cross multiply nyo lang yan, i-write nyo in terms of b squared. So 2 times ax, 2ax, tama? Then yung bo squared, lipat mo sa kabila. Kaya last formula natin for uniformly accelerated motion is b squared is equals to bo squared plus 2ax. So dyan lang na-derive yan, no? Yung formula natin sa dynamics. Okay. So ito yung mga nomenclature natin, no? So v, yung iba nira-write as pf, pwede rin p yan, no? Pero sa akin kasi v ang nomenclature ko. Pwedeng bf or pwedeng p. Basta yung nomenclature na yan is for final velocity. Unit natin is meter per second or feet per second. Okay? Then VO, same unit lang din, ano? Meters per second and feet per second. Acceleration naman, meters per second squared or feet per second squared. Distance is in meters or in feet, then time is in seconds. Always in seconds. Yan. Then, para hindi kayo mahirapan sa conversion, ano? Ang conversion from kilometers per hour, since dynamics of rigid bodies to, no? So, mostly mga problem dito is applicable sa mga automotive, sa mga sasakyan. So, paano mo sinusukat yung speed ng sasakyan? So, kilometers per hour, lagi nasa problem. So, pero pag sinolve mo siya, dapat yung velocity mo is in terms of meters per second para unit-wise, ano. So, para hindi kayo maraming conversion na gawin, no, gamitin nyo itong ratio. Where 1 meter per second is equals to 3.6 kilometer per hour. Okay? Again, 1 meters per second is 3.6 kilometers per hour. Then, yung miles natin, dalawa yan, ano, statute mile and nautical miles. So, kapag not stated kung anong klaseng mile siya, matic statute mile yung gagamitin, which is 5 to 80 feet. So, yan. Okay na siguro yan. So, try natin mag-solve ng problem. Okay. Try natin number 1. Sana hindi delay yung pagsulat ko. No? Last time parang delay eh. Parang nakaikot na ako kayo. Ay sa screen nyo wala pa atang lumalabas na sinusulat. Anyway, sana hindi siya delay. Okay, number 1. A train. Kita ba yung screen ko? Kita naman. Okay, number 1. A train changes its speed uniformly from 60 miles per hour to 30 miles per hour in a distance of 1,500 feet. What is its acceleration? So, acceleration ang hinahanap. Basic formula lang yung gagamitin natin. Ano? So, tingin lang tayo sa formula. No? Meron tayong initial velocity and also meron tayong final velocity. So, sulat ko muna siguro yung given. So, given natin, so, meron tayong train from 60 to 30. So, ibig sabihin, yung 60, yan yung ating initial velocity. Then 30 is our final velocity. Okay, then also we have distance, x, of 1,500 feet. Ang hinahanap dito is the acceleration. So meron tayong velocity and meron tayong distance. Ang magandang approach dito is yung b squared. Ano? Ito, b squared is equals to bo squared plus 2ax. So direct sub, since bf and bo tsaka x is already given. So b squared is equals to bo squared plus 2ax. Okay, ano yung v natin? 30 miles per hour. So maganda i-write natin siya in terms of a siguro para ano, hindi tayo mahirapan sa conversion. So a is equals to, lipat natin si VO squared. So magiging b squared minus PO squared over 2x. Okay. So V natin is 30 miles per hour. So 30 squared minus 60 squared. So miles squared per hour squared. Then kanina, di ba? Since miles yan, ang default natin na unit is statute miles, which is 5 to 80. Ito. So dyan natin i-convert. Ano? So 5,280 feet, 1 miles. 1 mile. Then squared natin. Then over 2 times x, which is 1,500 feet. Then yung hour, i-convert na rin natin. Ano? 3/6 second. Labas na lang. Squared. Second squared, r squared. Okay. Cancellation of units. Cancel si miles. Okay. Then si hour. Then yung feet, dito may matitirang isa pa, no? So unit natin dito is feet per second squared. Thirty squared minus 60 squared, 5280 squared over 2 times 1536 squared. Okay. So acceleration natin is negative 1.936 feet per second squared. Negative kasi from 60 naging 30 siya, no? Pumagal yung speed ng ating train. So that's why negative yan. So other term for acceleration is deceleration. So minsan tinatanong yan, what is its deceleration? So yan, negative 1.936 feet per second squared. Okay, so number 2. Number 2, a motorist is traveling at 70 km per hour when he sees a traffic light in an intersection 250 meters ahead, turn red. The light's red cycle is 15 seconds. A motorist wants to enter the intersection without stopping his vehicle just as the light turns green. What is the uniform deceleration of the vehicle will just put the motorist in the intersection when the light turns green. So ang tinatanong sa number 2 is deceleration. So as I said kanina, deceleration is the negative acceleration. So first, kunin muna natin yung given. So 70 km per hour, matik, yan yung ating initial velocity. kph. Okay. Then 250 meters, yan yung ating x, yung ating distance. Yung kilometers per hour, i-convert na natin ng meters per second. So ratio nila is 3.6. So 70 divide 3.6. So 19.44 meters per second. Okay, so 250 meters. Then meron tayong time of 15 seconds. So tinatanong dito, what is the deceleration? Okay. Okay, solution. So meron tayong initial velocity, merong x, merong time. So ang magandang formula dito is yung formula ng distance. Yung na-derive natin kanina, which is ito. X is equals to POT plus 1/2 AT squared. So since deceleration pala ang tanong, no, pwedeng ang gawin nyo minus dt squared. Or pwedeng ang gamitin nyo yung formula plus AT squared. Same lang naman ang lalabas dyan. Negative yung acceleration. Okay, so x is equals to 250 meters, s equals to 19.44 meters per second squared. Meters per second times time, which is 15 seconds, plus 1/2 a t natin is 15 squared, second squared. So ang unit natin dito is meters per second squared. So 250 is equals to 19.44 times 15 plus 0.5 alpha x 15 squared. Okay. So kung napansin niyo negative ang lumabas, no? Kasi nga tama yung process mo ng solution. Deceleration kasi siya. So acceleration is equals to negative 0.37 meters per second, or i-write mo siya in terms of t, magiging positive na, 37 meters per second. So either dyan sa dalawa yung sagot. Okay. So number 3 is same problem lang, but nadagdagan lang siya ng condition. No? So, nagbigay ng value ng deceleration, which is 0.5 meters per second squared. So, kopyahin lang natin yung given sa number 2. Meron tayong BO of 70 kph. Na-convert na natin to, no? 19.44. Then, meron tayong X of 250 meters. Then, also meron tayong time of 15 seconds. So, given C deceleration, which is 0.5 meters per second squared. So, ang tinatanong dito, what will be its speed when the light turns green? Okay, so nasimula siya ng red, tama? Tapos nahinto ng green. So, ibig sabihin, what is the final velocity? So, BF or simply V yung hinahanap. Okay. So, meron tayong acceleration, merong time, merong X. So, ang formula na pwedeng gamitin dito is, ito siguro no. Kasi given yung acceleration. Okay. Then, final velocity ang hinahanap. So, itong formula ang gagamitin natin. So, velocity or final velocity is equals to VO plus AT. Since deceleration siya, pwede mo siyang i-rewrite as VO minus deceleration times time. Okay? Okay. So, yeah, direct sub na natin. VO natin is 19.44 meters per second minus 0.5 times 15. Unit natin dito is meters per second. 19.44 minus 7.5. Okay, so 11.94. So wala sa choices, no? Kasi ibang unit to. Velocity natin is 11.94. Unit natin is meters per second. So direct conversion, ano yung direct conversion? Times 3.6 kilometers per hour, 1 meters per second. Okay? So times natin ng 3.6. So ayun, lumabas, no? So letter A ang sagot. Approximately 43 kilometers per hour. So, napaka-useful nitong conversion, ha? So, pakikabisada na lang yan. Okay, number 4. Number 4, with the starting speed of 30 kilometers per hour at point A, the car accelerates uniformly. After 80 minutes, it reaches point B, 25 kilometers from point A. Find the acceleration of a car in meters per second squared. Okay, so number 4, same concept pa rin, ano? So, yung tatlong formula pa rin yung gagamitin natin. Ang hinahanap dito is acceleration. So, kunin muna natin si given. So, we have meron tayong VO. Starting speed, ano? So, starting speed, matik siya yung initial velocity. Kilometers per hour. So, convert natin ng meters per second. So, 30 divide 3.6. Okay, so 8.33 meters per second. Then 18 minutes. So meron tayong time. Convert natin ng seconds. So 18 times 60. Okay, so 1,080 seconds. Then also meron tayong distance of 25 kilometers. So X at 25, 21 pala. So 21,000 meter. So hinanap dito is the acceleration. So may x, may t, may VO. So magandang formula dito is formula ng distance. X is equals to VOT plus 1/2 a t squared. So x natin is 21,000. Initial velocity is 8.33 meters per second. Time is 1,080 seconds plus 1/2 acceleration, yan yung hinahanap. Then time natin is 1,080 seconds squared. Okay. So shift solve na lang para mabilis. Ano? So solve for the value of acceleration. 21,000 is equals to 8.33 times 1,080 plus 0.5 alpha x 1,080 squared ano, s squared. 1,080 squared. Okay, so shift solve. The answer is 0.021. Tama ba? Okay. 0.021 meters per second squared. Okay, so next. Number 5. Okay, from a speed of 75 kilometers per hour, a car decelerates at a rate of 500 meters per minute squared along a straight path. How far in meters will it travel in 45 seconds? Okay, so same process, kunin natin given. So from word na from, sabihin yan yung initial velocity. Okay. Then also meron tayong acceleration of 500 meters per minute squared. Then ano pa ba? So meron tayong time of 45 seconds. So hinahanap is how far in meters. So hinahanap dito is yung x. Okay. So ang condition natin is deceleration, ano? So formula natin is dapat minus, no? So kung ito yung formula natin na gagamitin, itong final velocity is equals to VO plus AT. So magiging VO minus TT ang ating formula since stated sa problem na nag-decelerate siya. Okay? So final velocity is equals to VO minus DT. Decelerate. Okay, so VO natin is 75 kilometers per hour. So i-write natin siya in terms of yung kagaya ng unit ng acceleration para unit-wise tayo. So 75,000 over 60. Unit natin dito is minute per second. Minus t times may di pala tayo, no? So di pala dapat sinulat ko dito. Ayun. So 500 meters per minute squared times time, which is 45 seconds. Convert natin ng minute, so divide 60. So magiging minute na yan. Ano? Okay, so unit natin dito is meters per minute. Minute lang pala to kasi 60 ko lang naman dinivide eh. Hindi naman 36. Okay, so unit-wise na yan, meters per minute parehas. 75,000 over 60 minus 500 times 45 over 60. Okay, so nakuha natin si over 60, sorry. So nakuha natin si final velocity, no? 875 meters per minute. So ang tinatanong dito is yung x. So solve natin si x. Saan natin makuha si x since may final and initial velocity na tayo? So pwede natin gamitin tong formula. Bf squared is equals to bo squared minus 2ax. Final velocity is 875 squared. Bo natin, write natin to in terms of meters per minute. Ito na lang siguro. So, 75,000 divide 60 squared meters per minute. Minus 2 times deceleration natin is 500 meters per minute squared times x. So unit-wise yan. Okay, mga cancel si minute kasi ang unit nitong 875 is minute, meters per minute squared. Yan. Di ba? Maka-cancel si minute squared tapos maka-cancel yung isang meters. Okay? So, meters ang magiging unit natin. Okay. Sige. 875 squared is equals to 75,000 over 60 squared minus 2 times 500 times alpha x. Okay, yun. Tumaba. 796.875 meters. Okay. Okay, so next topic na tayo. So same topic pa rin naman to, but ang application na is gagamit na tayo ng derivative. So as I said kanina, first yung function natin is x, yan yung ating distance, first derivative, velocity, then second derivative is the acceleration. Okay, so try natin dito sa number 6. Number 6, a particle whose curvilinear motion is represented by the equation s is equals to 20t plus 40 squared minus 3t cubed. What is the particle's initial velocity? Okay, so curve natin, 20t plus 4t squared minus 3t cubed. So initial velocity, first derivative lang ang kailangan natin. So s prime is equals to velocity. So s prime is equals to velocity is equals to derivative ng 20t is 20 plus 8t minus 3 times 3 is 9, t raised to 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, so since tinatanong initial velocity, time natin is equals to 0. Tama? Substitute mo yung t is equals to 0. Maka-cancel to. And ito. So, sagot natin dito is 20 meters per second. Or pwede rin kayo mag-calculator, ano? So, d over dx of type nyo na equation 20t plus 4 alpha x squared minus 3 alpha x raised to 3. Okay? At x is equals to 0, so same answer ang lalabas. No? So, kahit anong gusto nyo gawin sa buhay nyo, okay lang. Okay. Number 7. A particle whose curvilinear motion is represented by the equation S is equals to 20t plus 40 squared minus 3t cubed. What is the acceleration of the particle at t is equals to 0? So acceleration naman, so same ano lang to kanina, no? Same lang nung equation. So acceleration is the derivative of your velocity. So pwede mong gamitin tong yung v mo, no? Which is 20 plus 80 minus 90 squared. So S prime, 20 is equals to velocity pala. 20 plus 80, tama ba? Minus 90 squared. Okay? Or pwede nyo i-caltech or pwede nyo imano-mano ng pag-derivative. So try muna natin imano-mano. So B prime is equals to the acceleration 8 minus 18. 18t. At t is equals to 0, therefore, acceleration is 8 meter per second squared. Or by Caltech, type nyo lang yung equation ng velocity, then at x is equals to 0. 8 lang din yung lalabas dyan. Kahit di ko na ipakita, alam nyo naman na yun. Okay, next item. Number 8. Kita ba yung screen ko? Kita nyo ba? Susunod pa. Minsan delay. Okay, number 8 na tayo. Number 8 na ba sa screen nyo? Tama ba?
Opo, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes po, sir. Yes po, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so number 8, same equation, but iba yung condition niya. So a particle whose curvilinear motion is represented by the equation S is equals to 20t plus 40 squared minus 3t cubed. What is the maximum speed reached by the particle? So tatandaan nyo, no? At maximum speed, ang acceleration mo is always equals to 0. Okay? Pakitandaan yan, ha? At maximum speed, acceleration is always equals to 0. So ang equation natin kanina, acceleration is 8 minus 18t. Tama? Okay, so kinapi ko lang yan, no? So set natin si acceleration sa 0. So 8 minus 18t. So makuha natin si value ng time. 18t is equals to 8, therefore t is equals to 8 over 18. 4 over 9. Or 0.44 seconds. Okay, ano bang tanong dito? Maximum speed. Since nakuha mo na yung time, no, i-substitute mo doon sa equation ng iyong velocity, which is 20 plus 80 minus 90 squared. Plus 80 minus 90 squared. Okay, so 20 plus 8 times 0.44 minus 9 times 0.44. So makuha mo na si maximum speed. 20 plus 8 times 0.44 minus 9 times 0.44 squared. Okay, so 21.78. So letter A, ano, 21.8 meters per second. Okay. Okay, so paano naman kapag kabaliktaran, ano? Paano naman kapag si acceleration na yung given? Kanina ang given natin is S So madali lang i-apply itong formula, no? Magdi-derivative ka lang ng magdi-derivative. So kapag sa acceleration ng given, so pabaliktad na, no? Integral lang gagamitin natin. So from second derivative, convert mo ng first derivative hanggang sa maging function. Okay? So by using integral. Okay, so try natin tong number 9 siguro. Number 9, determine the velocity and displacement of a body after 2 seconds if the motion is defined by the relation A is equals to 2t. A being in feet per second squared and t in second, and if it's known that S is equals to 4 feet and B is equals to 2 feet per second when t is equals to 1. So masyado tayo maraming condition, try natin isulat lahat ng given. So given natin, meron tayong equation A is equals to 2t. So ang hinahanap dito is yung velocity and yung displacement. If or when t is equals to 2 seconds. Okay. So yung 2t, A is in feet per second squared if x is equals to 4 and t is equals to 2. Okay. Sa ibang libro, S yung symbol nila, pero sa prime kasi X, kaya X na lang din yung nilalagay ko. Para hindi masyadong nakakalito yung nomenclature. Okay. Okay, sige. Try natin i-solve. So, ano bang magandang unahin dito? Kunin muna natin si velocity, no? Magandang approach, siguro. Si velocity. Okay. So, solving for velocity. So, equation natin, A is equals to 2t, ano? So, balik tayo dun sa concept natin kanina. Acceleration is the derivative of your velocity with respect to time. Pwede natin siyang isulat dito. A is equals to dv over dt. Cross multiply, a dt is equals to dv. Or dv is equals to a dt. What is the value of your a? 2t. So dv is equals to 2t times dt. Unit-wise na. So kapag unit-wise, yan ka na pwedeng maglagay ng bulate. Ano? Lagyan natin bulate. Para ma-cancel na CD. So anong limits natin dito? So ang limits natin ng velocity is ito, from 2 seconds okay, hanggang doon sa kanyang final velocity. Then ang limits natin ng time, ito yung given, 1 second. Kasi function of 2t, di ba, ang ginamitan natin. Function ng 2t, so limits natin is from 1 to t seconds. I-rewrite ko lang masyadong maliit. So limits ng dv natin is from 2 seconds hanggang doon sa v. Okay? A natin is 2t dt. Anong function ng 2t? Time niya is 1 seconds hanggang time t. Kasi hindi naman sinabi sa problem kung hanggang kailan. So yan yung ating limits. Okay, sige. Kunin na natin yung integral nito. Integral ng dv is p. Substitute natin yung upper limit minus lower limit. So we have v minus 2. Tama? So v from 2 to v is equals to, integral nito is 2t squared over 2, limits from 1 to t. Okay, sige, substitute natin. Cancel lang natin yung 2, ano. Ayan. Okay. So upper limit, t minus 2 is equals to, same process lang, no? Upper limit is t squared, substitute mo yung t. Then substitute mo yung 1. So t squared minus 1 squared or simply 1. Then lipat natin ito sa kabila. Negative 2, so magiging positive minus 1 is positive 1. Velocity is t squared plus 1. So when t is equals to 2 seconds, ano daw yung ating velocity? Velocity is 2 squared plus 1. Therefore, velocity is 5 meters per second. Ano ba unit? Feet pala, no? So, feet per second. Sorry. Okay. So, yun yung sagot natin sa first na required. 5 feet per second. So, ang unit mo nakadepende sa sasabihin, ha? Okay. So, ayan. Unit-wise naman, feet per second. So, yun yung magiging unit mo. So, wala namang cancellation of units dito. Okay. Then, last hinahanap is yung x or yung distance or the displacement. So, balik tayo dun sa concept natin ng dynamics, ano? S is equals to what? Hindi S pala yung function natin, ano? S is our function. So, since S yung ating function, tas first derivative ay velocity, pwede natin gamitin si velocity. Velocity is ts over dt. So, cross multiply, ds is equals to v dt. Ano yung v mo? Nakuha natin kanina, t squared minus 1. Tama. So, kailangan bago kayo maglagay ng bulate, ha, dapat yung mga variable mo dito, pare-parehas, ha. Bawal mag-integrate ng iba-iba ang variable. So, si v, i-write natin as t squared plus 1. So, dito galing. Yan. So, ds is equals to t squared plus 1 dt. So, yeah, unit-wise na, pwede ka na maglagay ng bulate. Problema mo na lang dito yung limits mo. So, limit mo ng ds, given naman siya, no? 4 feet, tama? So, from 4 hanggang sa s. Limits mo ng t is same pa rin nung kanina, from 1 to t. Ito. Kasi 1 second yung condition mo ng acceleration. 1 to t. Okay, so kapag okay na, yeah, mag-integral na tayo. Integral ng ts is s, limits from 4 to s. Integral ng t squared plus 1, so t squared muna, t raised to 3 over 3. Then 1 dt is plus t, limits from 1 to t. Okay, so upper limit s minus lower limit 4 is equals to, substitute muna natin si t, so t cubed over 3 plus t minus the lower limit 1, substitute natin, 1 raised to 3 over 3 plus 1. Okay, so simplify natin siguro para mas madali ano. So s minus 4 is equals to t raised to 3 over 3 plus t minus 1/3 plus minus 1. So 1/3 minus 1, so 3 over 3. Calculator ko na lang. Calculator na. Ayun. Okay, negative 2 over 3. Okay? Ay, lipat pala natin si 4, ano? Para S na lang dito. So, negative 2 over 3 plus 4. So, 12 minus 2, 10 over 3. Okay. Asan na ako? Ay, wala nang space. Okay. So, therefore, S is equals to, copy ko lang, ano? T raised to 3 over 3 plus T. Tama ba yung sagot ko? Negative 2/3 plus 4. O, tama, 10 over 3 na. Plus 10 over 3. Okay, sige, pwede na yan. So, okay na equation mo ng S, substitute mo na yung condition mo at T is equals to 2 seconds. Parang kanina lang din, no? When T is equals to 2 seconds. So, 2 raised to 3 over 3 plus 2 plus 10 over 3. So, 8, approximately 8 feet. Tama ba? 7.33. Baka dito ako na mali. 1/3 minus 3 over 3. Minus. 4 over 3 siguro to. Tapos plus 4. 8 over 3. T raised to 3 over 3 plus T positive pa. Plus 8 over 3. Okay. So, try ulit natin. Okay. 2 raised to 3 over 3 plus 2 plus 8 over 3. Ayun, kuha din. So, 7.33. So, be careful na lang sa sign minsan, ha. Minsan kasi kakamadali natin. Nane-neglect natin yung sign. So, yun. Sa palabas naman natin, 5 and 7.33. Okay, so next topic na tayo. So, dito na tayo sa free-falling body. May tanong ba? Tanong ba doon sa first topic? Wala. Okay, so next topic na. So, free-falling body. Okay. So, balikan lang natin yung na-derive natin na formula, no? Sa rectilinear motion. So, kapag free-falling body, yung acceleration natin nagiging gravity since kalimitan is pataas yung ating hagis, no? So, negative gravity yon. Then, yung x natin, which is yung displacement, convert natin ng y since vertical na yung ating distance. Okay. So, yung first formula natin kanina is V is equals to VO plus AT. So, convert lang natin si A ng gravity, in terms of gravity. Therefore, formula natin sa free-falling body is final velocity is equals to VO minus, since negative gravity yan, GT. Okay, so doon lang na-derive yan. Then next formula natin, B squared is equals to VO squared plus 2AX. Convert natin si X ng Y and also si A ng negative G. Therefore, formula natin B squared, copy, VO squared, copy, minus 2 times gravity times y. Then last formula natin for free falling body, ito yun, na-derive natin. So convert lang natin. So plus minus y ha. So mamaya makikita natin bakit plus minus y. Plus minus y, so yung x kinonvert natin ng y is equals to VOT, copy mo lang yan. Then A is negative gravity, kaya siya minus 1/2, copy mo lang, g t squared. Okay? So kapag plus, kapag positive ang y mo, your final position is above the initial. Kapag negative y, negative ang iyong height or displacement or distance, final position is below the initial. Okay? Positive above, negative below. So ayun, okay na yan sa free falling body. Try natin mag-solve ng sample problems. So again daw, wala tayong bagong formula. So more on derivation lang yung ginagawa ko dito. Okay, so number 10 tayo. Number 10, a stone is thrown vertically upward at a rate of 20 meters per second. Find the highest point reached by the stone. So, mas maganda dito if dinadrawing natin yung given, para mas ma-visualize natin siya. So, kung meron tayong stone from the ground, tapos babato natin siya pataas. So what is the highest point reached by the stone? Ang tinatanong dito is y. Okay? So y ang tinatanong. So yung 20 meters per second, yan yung ating initial velocity. So yan lang naman ang given. Then final velocity, sa tingin nyo, ano yung final velocity natin? So dito nag-stop yung so sa taas nag-stop yung bato. Stop. Stop. So sa taas nag-stop yung bato, therefore our final velocity is equals to 0. Okay. So meron tayong initial, meron tayong final. Hinahanap natin is si y. So ang pwedeng gamitin natin ay ito. Since y ang hinahanap. Okay? So b squared is equals to bo squared minus 2gy. Final velocity squared is equals to bo squared minus 2gy. Final velocity natin is 0. Initial is 20. Minus 2 times 9.81 y. So masasolve mo si y. So, mas madali kapag dinodrawing mo siya. Sheep solve pa ba yan? Huwag nyo na sheep solve yan. 20 squared over 2 times 9.81. Okay, so the answer is 20.39 meters. Okay, next item. A stone is thrown upward from the ground with a velocity of 15 meters per second. 1 second later, another stone is thrown with a velocity of 30 meters per second. How far will the stone be at the same level? So dalawang bato na ang hinagis pataas. So try natin ni drawing para ma-visualize natin. Ito So binato siya pataas. So let's say nandito siya Yan. So a stone is thrown upward from the ground. Then 1 second later, another stone is thrown. Okay. So, 1 second later, yan, nagbato na naman. Okay. So, initial velocity nung unang pagbato is 15 meters per second. So, VO1 is 15 meters per second. Then yung pangalawa, VO2 is 30 meters per second. How far will the stone be at the same level? Okay, sige. Okay. So, kailan daw sila magpapantay sa taas? Yun yung tanong dyan. So, meron tayong Y1 and also meron tayong Y2. So, since magpapantay sila sa taas, no? So, ilet natin Y is equals to Y1 is equals to Y2. Okay. So, solution. So, may interval tayo ng time, which is 1 second. So, magle-let tayo dito, let t as the time traveled by first stone. Since nauna nga siya iba to, then t minus 1 is the time traveled by second stone. Okay. So, since upward yan, kapag upward, ang gravity natin is negative. Therefore, y? Doon muna tayo siguro sa first stone. Formula natin, y is equals to VO1 T minus 1/2 GT squared. Okay? Okay, VO1 natin is 15 meters per second. Given naman yan. Times T minus 1/2. Gravity natin is the 9.81. Then T squared. Okay, therefore y is equals to 9.81 divided 2 is 4.9905. Sorry. 4.905 T squared. So, write natin siya as equation number 1. Okay? Okay, doon tayo sa second stone. Okay, doon tayo sa second stone. So, same formula pa rin gagamitin natin. Y is equals to velocity ng second stone times time minus 1/2 g t squared. Okay. Okay, so velocity 2 is 30 meters per second. No? Given naman siya, no? Time hindi siya given. VO2, 30 pala, no? Sinulat ko pa. Yung time natin at 2, so nag-let tayo, no? Time traveled by second stone is t minus 1. So write natin yung t as t minus 1. Minus 1/2, 9.81, t minus 1 squared. Okay. So expand pa natin yan, Okay. So y is equals to 30t minus 30 minus 4.905, no? Then t squared, 4.905 t squared. Then 2 times 9.81 times 1/2 is 9.81 t. Minus minus, so plus. So expand lang natin to, tapos minultiply natin dito. Minultiply natin dyan. So baka malito kayo. So 9.81 t. Then 1 squared times 9.81 times the negative 1 half is negative 4.905. Okay, so pagsamahin lahat ng common terms. So negative, ito muna no, 4.905 t squared. So lahat ng t pagsamahin, 39.81 t. Ito, tsaka ito. Then negative 30, negative 4 is negative 34.905. So okay na yung equation na 2 natin. So pwede na sigurong pagsamahin. Check lang natin ha. Hindi rin ako sigurado sa buhay ko. T squared 15, walang constant. Pwede na yan. Y is equals to y. Ha? Equation 1 and 2. Y is equals to 1. The equation 1 is the 15t minus 4.905 t squared. Is equals to equation 2, negative 4.905 t squared plus 39.81 t minus 34.905. So lahat ng pwedeng cancel, cancel nyo na. Cancel to, parehas negative. No? 39.81, ito, pwede natin pagsamahin, ano? So ilipat natin siguro si 15. 15 minus the 39 is 24, tama ba? 24.81 is equals to, copy natin si 34.905. Lipat sa left side, magiging positive. Okay? So therefore, makuha natin si time. 34.905 over 24.81. Okay, so time natin is 1.41 seconds. So, nakuha na natin si time. Ano bang tanong dito? How far will the stone be at the same level? So, ang tinatanong dito is why. Ito. Okay, so, hanggang saan sila magtatagpo? Okay, so, gamitin natin si equation 1 kasi mas maikli. Y is equals to 15t minus 4.905 t squared. 15t, 1.41, minus 4.905 t squared, 1.41 squared. So, sulat ko dito no, from equation 1. Minus 4.905, 1.41 squared. Okay, so 11.4 meters. So at 11.4 meters, doon magtatagpo yung dalawang bato. Ayun, so tama. Okay, so ganyan yung pag-solve, ano? You have to consider the time and also yung height, no? Kung equal ba sila or pina-plus. So, kailangan ano talaga, magaling ka dito mag-analyze. Okay. Okay, so next problem tayo, number 12. So number 12, a stone is dropped down on a well, and 5 seconds later, the sound without the resistance of the splash is heard. If the velocity of sound is 330 meters per second, what is the depth of the well? So, pag mga free-falling body, mas maganda siyang i-drawing. Ano? Paano ba i-drawing yung well? Ano sa Tagalog yung well? Balon ba? Tama ba? Tama, di ba? Yan, let's say ito yung balon natin. Okay. Okay, so let's say yan yung balon natin. Tapos, ay, siguro dito yung tubig. Ano. Yan. So, meron kang stone, no? Ihulog mo ng balon. Then, after 5 seconds daw, maririnig mo yung sound ng stone. Parang yung splash ng stone sa tubig. Yan. So, after 5 seconds, narinig mo yung splash. Okay. So, from here, hanggang doon sa tubig, yan yung ating Y or yung height ng yung depth ng balon. Then, may iba pa bang given? Velocity of sound is 330 meters per second. May velocity of sound dito. Sige, consider natin yun. Then, T1 plus T2 is equals to 5. Since T1 natin is the time traveled by the stone, then T2 natin is time traveled by the sound. Since, yeah, kailangan natin i-consider yung sound. Okay? So, record natin is yung Y or yung depth ng ating balon. Okay, so solution. So, ang magandang approach dito, simula muna kayo sa stone, ano? So, Y is equals to, sa stone muna tayo. PO times T. Let's say yung stone natin is 0.1. Plus 1/2 G times T1. Okay? So, at initial velocity ng stone, matic, 0 meters per second. Okay? So, makakancel na to. So, therefore, Y is equals to 1/2 GT1. So, write natin in terms of T1 siguro para magamit natin itong equation na to. T1 plus T2 is equals to 5. Yan. So, write natin yung first point natin as T1. So, therefore, T1 is equals to 2 times Y is 2Y. Then, G natin is 9.81. 1/2 GT1 squared. Ano? So, square root of 2Y over G. Equation number 1. Gets nyo ba? Then, loss multiply lang yan. So, doon tayo at 0.2 for sound. Okay, so anong formula ng velocity natin? Velocity is distance over time. So ang distance natin dito is y. So y over time. So since 0.2 na to, y over dt. Write natin in terms of t2, cross multiply. Therefore t2 is equals to y over p. Observe natin as equation number 3. Ito equation number 2. So ilagay natin si 2 and 3 sa equation number 1. So substitute equation 2 and 3 to equation number 1. So ano equation number 1 natin? T1 plus T2 is equals to 5. So ano yung value ni T1? Ito, no? Nasa equation number 2, square root of 2y over g. 2y over g plus equation ni T2 is y over t. Nasa equation number 3. Is equals to 5. Unit-wise na ba yan? Hindi pa. So, direct sub natin lahat, no? Pwedeng i-direct sub. So, velocity of sound is 330 meters per second. So, dito natin siya i-substitute sa time 2 since dito natin is time travel by the sound. Therefore, square root of 2y over 9.81 plus y over 330 is equals to 5. So, unit-wise na yan. Isang unit na lang ang nawawala. Pwede na kayo mag-shift solve. The square root of 2 alpha x over 9.81 plus alpha x over 330 is equals to 5. So shift solve. Okay, so y is equals to 107.2 meters. Check natin kung tama. So 107.12. Okay. Okay, next problem. Number 13. Okay, a stone is thrown vertically into the air from a tower 100 feet high at the same instant that a second stone is thrown upward from the ground. The initial velocity of the first stone is 50 feet per second and that of the second stone is 75 feet per second. When and where will the stone be at the same height of the ground? So, ang tinatanong dito is yung time and also yung kung kailan sila, kung saan sila mag-meet yung dalawang stone. Kung so mas better if i-drawing natin yung figure para ma-visualize natin. So, sa tower, ano? Mag-drawing dito. So, let's say ito yung tower natin, ano? Okay na yan. Yan. Tapos, nandito yung isa magbabato. Thrown vertically. So, pataas. So, yun nandito. Okay. Then, at the same instant, a stone is thrown upward from the ground. So, may nagbato din sa baba. Okay. So, pataas din. Ayun. Okay. So, dito sila magtatama. Okay. So, ang tower natin is 100 feet high. So, kung ilagay lang natin, from ground hanggang doon sa top ng tower, 100 feet. Okay. So, ano yung 50? Yung 50 feet per second is the initial velocity of the first stone. So, ang first stone natin is ito, yung nasa taas ng tower. So, VO1. 50 feet per second. Ito na lang sa baba. Then, velocity nitong pangalawa from the ground is 75 feet per second. VO2, 75 feet per second. Okay, when and where will the stone be at the same height of the ground? So, ang tinatanong dito is yung y. Okay, so try natin i-solve. when and where. So, ang inanap dito is yung t niya, time niya, at same level. Okay? Then, also yung y, ano. At same level din. Okay, sige. Solution. Dito na lang. So, solution, since magtatagpo sila sa taas, ano, y is equals to y1 is equals to y2. Then, same level din yung time. Therefore, time 1 or time is equals to time 1 is equals to time 2. Okay? So, doon muna tayo sa first stone. So, doon muna tayo sa first stone. Okay, formula natin ng y is BOT plus 1/2 GT squared. May initial velocity tayo ng 1. Meron, ano, binigay, which is 50 feet per second. And yun lang, no? Wala na ibang given. So, yun lang yung sa substitute natin. So, y is equals to 50 times time plus 1/2. Gravity natin kapag English is 32.2 feet per second squared. Since yung stone is thrown upward, dapat negative yung gravity mo. Then, t squared. Okay? Therefore, y is equals to 50t minus 32.2 divide 2 lang naman yun. Okay, 16.1 t squared. So, serve natin as equation number 1. Okay, so doon tayo sa pangalawang stone, yung nanggaling sa ground. So, second stone is yeah, same formula lang din kasi parehas lang naman initial velocity ang given. So, VO2T plus 1/2 GT squared. Okay. So, y is equals to 75 feet per second, 75 t plus negative 32.2 since binato rin siya pataas, no? So, negative ang gravity mo. T squared times 1/2. So, 75t minus 16.10 t squared. So, equate mo si equation number 3 na pala to. Number 2. So, equate mo si equation 1 and 2 in terms of y, ano? Sa equation number 3. Yeah. So, substitute equation 1 and 2 to 3. Okay? So, equation number 3 natin, y1 is equals to y2. Ay, wait lang. Hindi pala muna. Wait lang. Magtatama sila dito, tapos magtatagpo rin dito. Pagpababa na. Like ito yung stone 1, di ba? So pagka hagis niya pataas, so bababa siya, then bababa rin to. So let's say dito sila magtatagpo. Or kahit saan, basta doon sa baba ng tower. So pwede natin gawing equation ng y is y1 is equals to y2 minus 100. Okay? Okay. Kasi pag in-equate natin yung y, makakancel to, no? 16.1. At the same time, yung t makakancel din. So, hindi siya pwedeng yung equation na y1 is equals to y2. So, yung condition na i-consider mo is yung pababa na yung ball siguro. Okay? So, 100, yun yung height ng tower minus kung saang point sila magtatagpo. Either sa taas ng tower or sa baba. So, equation natin dito is y1 is equals to y2 minus 100. So, y1 natin is 50 t minus 16.1 t squared is equals to y2, 75t minus 16.1 t squared minus 100. Okay, so cancel c, 16.t. Pagsamay natin yung both na may t, so 75 minus 50 is 25. 25t, lipat natin si 100 sa kabila, is equals to 100. Therefore, t is equals to 4 seconds. Tama ba? Ayun, 4 seconds. Okay, so yung i-consider mo na height again is yung kung saan na sila magtatama after na nilang bumaba ng stone. Okay, so si 4 seconds, substitute natin sa equation number 1. So y1 is equals to 50 times 4 minus 16.1 times 4 squared. So 50 times 4 is 200 minus 16.1 times 4 squared. Okay, so negative 57.6 feet. Then si y2 is 75 times 4 minus 16.1 times 4 squared. 75 times 4. Okay. So 42.4 feet. So at point of view ni 42.4 feet. So at point of view ni nung nasa taas ng tower, no, magmi-meet sila negative 57.6 feet. At point of view ni ano ba to? Yung nasa ground, magmi-meet sila at 42.4 feet. So para ma-check mo kung tama, dapat kapag in-add mo yung y1 and the y2, ang lalabas dapat is 100, which is yung height ng tower. So add lang natin, no? 57.6 plus 42.4. Ayun, so 100. So ibig sabihin tama yung process na ginawa natin. So, yeah, minsan may trial and error din talaga dito kasi hindi mo ma-expect yung outcome ng problem. So, kailangan mo mag-analyze din. Okay? So, I hope clear yung number 13. So, negative 56 and 42.4. Okay. So, next question. Okay, so next topic na pala to. So, tapos na tayo sa free-falling bodies. No? May tanong ba sa free-falling bodies? So, yung last part lang yung medyo tricky yun. So, dito na tayo sa projectile motion. Okay. So, projectile, a body which after being given an initial velocity is allowed to travel under the action of gravity alone. Let's say, meron kang cannon dito, ano? So kapag nilagyan mo daw siya ng force, yung gravity na yung bahala during the travel nung kung ano man yung ibabato mo na object. Lakihan ko lang siguro. Okay. So dito sa cannon mo, kapag binato mo yung kung ano man yung babato mo, meron kang component ng initial velocity of x, then meron kang component ng initial velocity of y. So at certain point, kung saan mo man siya gusto i-measure, yun yung x mo. Pero yung maximum point or maximum distance na pwede niyang ma-reach, kung ano man yung ibabato mo, ang tawag doon is range. Then yung highest height, maximum height na kayang ma-reach ng object na binato mo, ang tawag naman doon is Ymax. Okay? Okay, so formula natin. So balikan lang natin yung formula natin kanina, no? Sa distance. Formula natin ng distance, pinaka first topic, x is equals to BOX T plus 1/2 AT squared. Okay? So wala tayong acceleration dito, kaya kinancel yan. So motion along x is constant. So that's why your acceleration is equals to 0. So gaya din sa uniform motion natin. Where BOX, so balik tayo ng statics, ano? Para makuha mo si BOX, gagamit ka ng cosine theta since the theta is adjacent doon sa yung resultant and sa site mo. No? So therefore, BOX is equals to BO cosine theta. Itong BO cosine theta, substitute natin sa BOX. Therefore, kapag hinahanap si X, certain point, X is equals to BO cosine theta times time. So dyan na-derive yung formula niya. Okay? Sa rectilinear motion pa rin. Then, okay, recall ulit tayo. So ito yung formula natin naman sa free falling body, ano? Since combination siya ng rectilinear motion and free falling body, itong projectile. So, yeah. So dito natin kinuha, positive negative y is equals to BOYT minus 1/2 GT squared. Okay, so component ng y, so balik tayo ulit ng statics, ano? So angle is opposite doon sa y, therefore sine ang gagamitin natin. So BO sine theta. Substitute mo dito sa formula ng free falling body, therefore plus minus y is equals to BO sine theta t minus 1/2 GT squared. So dyan lang din nakuha yung formula niya. Then may mga cases na, like for example, nasa taas ka ng bundok, no, doon mo tinira or pinato yung object, doon ka nag-projectile, and minsan din, nasa baba ka, tapos ibabato mo at certain height, positive y. Okay? So, ang formula na gagamitin natin kapag mga ganyang cases, so ito, kapisatuin nyo na lang kasi ang mostly kapag mga ganyang problem, maraming equation ang ginagawa. So, gaya nung sa kanina, no? Sa last topic, yung free falling bodies natin. So, marami tayong equation na maabot ng 3 equations. So, kung gusto nyo direct sub lang ang problem ng ganitong condition, ito yung recommended na formula. Plus minus y is equals to x tan theta minus gx squared over 2VO squared cosine squared theta. Okay? So, may shortcut din dito para hindi na kayo mag-long method. Kung gusto nyo, formula-based ang gawin nyo, itong shortcut ang gagamitin nyo. So, mostly kapag shortcut formula, direct sub lang ang nangyayari. So, kakabisaduhin nyo lang talaga siya. So, range is equals to BO squared sine 2 theta over G. Y max, highest height, is BO sine theta over 2G. Yung VO sine theta naka-squared. Then T is 2VO sine theta over G. Again, yung shortcut para lang to sa ano So, direct sub na. Kung gusto niyo mag-direct sub, mamaya makikita nyo. Papakita ko yung long method, then papakita ko yung paano ginagamit yung shortcut. So, mas madali mag-solve ng projectile using shortcut formula. Okay, so try natin sa problem. Yung mga formula na pinakita ko. Okay, so number 14. If the initial velocity of an object is 12 meters per second, determine the horizontal distance it can cover without rising more than 3 meters. Okay, so let's say, ito yung object mo, no? So, binato mo siya. at 12 meters per second. So ang tinatanong dito is yung yung range. What is the horizontal distance it can cover? Okay? So yung total distance na na-cover niya, which is yung R or yung range natin. So let's say ito yung Y max natin. Then ito yung theta natin. Okay? So try natin yung number 14. Okay. Siguro mas magandang approach dito is yung since range ang hinahanap, no? So gamitin natin yung shortcut formula. Range is PO squared sine 2 theta over G. Meron kang VO, which is 12 meters per second. Then meron kang Y max of without rising more than 3 meters. So Y max mo is 3 meters. So yun yung highest peak na pwedeng ma-reach ng object. Okay. So meron kang VO, meron kang gravity. Problema mo na lang dito is yung theta. Para ma-solve si theta, pwede mong gamitin si formula no Y max. Yung shortcut na rin, ano? Okay. So Y max is equals to PO sine theta squared over 2 times gravity. So Y max natin is 3 meters. PO natin, unit-wise naman, kahit di ko na isulat yung units. 12 squared sine theta squared over 2 times 9.81. So makuha mo dito sa theta by shift solve lang. So 3 is equals to 12 squared sine alpha x squared over 2 times 9.81. So make sure yung mode nyo is naka-degree. Ano? Okay, so 140.25. So hindi naman umaabot ng 90 degree. Tama, hindi umaabot ng 90 degree yung theta natin. So iba-minus mo ng 180. Okay. Okay, so 39.74. So ang nakuha mo is yung isang angle niya. Ilan? 39.74. So okay na yung theta mo. Pwede ka na mag-direct sub sa shortcut formula ng range. So range is equals to BO squared 12 squared sine 2 times 39.74 over 9.81. So 12 squared sine 2 times 39.74 over 9.81. Okay, so 14.43. So mas mabilis yung shortcut na formula kaysa gumawa kayo ng maraming equation. So I suggest pakikabisado yung shortcut formula. Okay? Tatlo lang naman yan. Okay. So ganun lang siya. Okay, next problem tayo. Okay, so number 15, siguro try ko yung long method, no? Then, try ko yung shortcut formula para makita nyo kung gaano yung difference ng pag-solve ng dalawa. Okay, so number 15 na stone is thrown from a hill at an angle of 60 degree with the horizontal at an initial velocity of 30 meters per second. After hitting level ground at the base of the hill, the stone has covered a horizontal distance of 150 meters. How high is the hill? Sige, drawing muna siguro natin ano. So let's say ito yung hill natin ano. Yeah. Okay. So, binato mo yung stone dito. Okay. Pwede na ba yung drawing ko? Okay na yun. Meron tayong horizontal distance dito. Then also meron tayong horizontal distance doon sa base or sa ground. Yan. Okay. Let's say dumaan siya dito, then ito yung pinaka last point ng bato. Okay, so kunin natin yung given. So meron tayong theta of 60 degree. Then initial velocity of 30 meters per second. So meron tayong VO. Then also meron tayong 150 meters. So yan yung total distance na na-cover ng ating total horizontal distance na na-cover ng ating stone. So yan yung ating range. So ang tanong dito is yung height ng ating hill. Pakalayo ng tanong. Okay. Sige, solve natin. So long method muna tayo. So since x ang hinahanap, ano? So si x related siya sa h. So solve muna natin si x. X is equals to BO cosine theta times time. Okay? So pwede nating equate dito as x is equals to r. Since hindi naman huminto yung travel ng stone, ano? Dire-diretso lang naman siya. So hindi siya huminto at certain point. So yeah, assume natin x is equals to r, which is 150 meters is equals to BO, 30 meters per second, cosine theta, cosine 60 times time. So 150 is equals to 30 cosine, huwag na i-shift solve, no? 150, 30 cosine 60. So time natin is equals to 10 seconds. Okay. Then ano pa ba? Kunin natin si y siguro din. So y is equals to y is a function of sine, ano? VO sine theta t minus 1/2 gt squared. Tama ba? Okay, tama naman. So assume natin dito, assume y is equals to negative h, which is yung height ng hill natin. So y is equals to BO, 30, sine 60 times 10 minus 1/2 times 9.81 times 10 squared. Okay, dito ko na lang sulat si y. Okay. So 30 times 10 sine 60. Okay, minus 0.5. Okay, 9.81 times 100, 981. Okay, so 230.69. So tama, 230.7. Y is equals to negative h, no? Negative of negative 230.69. Kaya ang sagot dito is positive. Okay? So, yan. So, yung y mo nakadepende sa kung saan mo siya binato, no? Negative y, kapag nanggaling ka sa taas, so ito yung example natin, ano? So, nanggaling siya sa hill, pababa. So, negative ang y mo. Pero pag galing ka ng baba, papunta ng taas, positive yung y mo. So, since galing siya ng taas, yun yung explanation doon. Kaya negative y is equals to h. Okay, so try natin yung shortcut. Pag shortcut, sabi ko nga, direct sub lang yung formula. So, plus minus y is equals to x tan theta minus gx squared over 2vo squared cosine theta. Cosine theta or cosine squared? Cosine squared ata. Ito. Ito yung shortcut na formula. No? Plus minus y, x tan theta, minus gx squared, 2vo squared cosine squared theta. Okay. So, anong value ng x mo? X is yung range, ano, which is 150. Or negative y, since galing siya ng taas, 150. Theta natin is 60. Minus 9.81. X natin is 150. Squared over 2. Initial velocity is ito, 30. 30 squared cosine squared 60. Okay, so check natin kung same lang ang lalabas. Ano. So 150 tan 60 minus 9.81. 150 squared over 2 times 30 squared parenthesis cosine 60 squared. So, times mo ng negative kasi negative y. So, 230 meters, 230.7. Okay? So, mas madali yung shortcut, ano? Kasi direct sub lang palagi yan. So, kakabisatuin mo lang talaga yung formula. Okay? So, much better yung shortcut compared dito sa long method. Okay. So, may tanong? Next problem tayo. Number 16. Number 16, a ball is shot at a ground level at an angle of 60 degrees with the horizontal with an initial velocity of 100 meters per second. Tatlo yung tanong dito. So, siguro chain problem to sa board exam. So A, what is the height of the ball after 2 seconds? B, the velocity after 2 seconds. And C, what is the range? Okay. So kahit di na natin ito i-drawing, direct ano na natin, solution. Okay. So given natin, sige, drawing na lang natin para sa ground naman siya galing, ano? Okay. So angle natin is 60 degree. Then initial velocity of 100 meters per second. Meron tayong time of 2 seconds. Ano? So ano pa ba? Wala na. So ang hinanap dito is yung height natin. So y. Velocity of the ball after 2 seconds. So let's say final, no? And also the range. Okay. So solve muna natin si y muna siguro. Y yung pinakamadaling i-solve dito. So si y, kunin na natin dun sa shortcut formula, no? Ito, yung x tan theta minus gx squared over 2vo squared cosine squared theta. Kaso wala kang x, kunin mo muna si x. Vo cosine theta times t. Kunin muna natin si x. Cosine theta times t. So 100 cosine 60 times 2. Times 2. Okay, so x mo is equals to 100. Okay, so gamitin natin si formula ng y para mabilis. Okay. So positive y to, no? Kasi nanggaling naman siya sa ground eh. So positive y is equals to x tan theta minus gx squared over 2vo squared cosine squared theta. So given y's naman, kahit i-direct ko na sa calculator. X mo is 100. Tangent, angle mo is 60. Minus, okay, 9.81 times 100 over 2 times 100 squared cosine squared 60. Cosine 60 squared. Okay, so y mo is 173. 153. Wait lang, check ko yung equation. Okay, 9.81 times 100 squared. Ayun, walang squared yung taas. Ayun, okay. So 153.59. Meters. Okay? Okay, so yun tayo sa B. What is the velocity of the ball after 2 seconds? Okay? So kung titingnan natin yung figure, ano? Let's say hanggang dito yung 2 seconds. Hindi pa niya nare-reach yung kanyang range. So meron ka ditong component ng velocity. Meron ka ditong v. Then dito vx, then dito vy. Okay? So kunin muna natin si bx. So bx is always constant. as I mentioned kanina, no? Yung motion along x is always constant. So, yeah, Vx is constant here. Okay, saan nalagay yung space? Wait lang. Okay, so doon tayo sa Bx. Since, yun nga, no? X is always constant, Bx is constant. Okay, so para makuha natin si Bx, we have anong formula? Then, na-derive natin kanina, no? VO cosine theta. VO natin is 100. Cosine theta natin is 60. Therefore, Tx is cosine 60. Okay, so Px is 50 meters per second. Okay, so paano kukunin si Py? So si Py, since pababa yan, ano, ano siyang tawag dito? Pababa yung motion ng ating ball, no? So pwede tayong gumamit ng formula ng free falling body. So we have Vy is equals to, or pwede yung naka-squared na sa free falling body. Vy squared. Or ano ba maganda? Teka, check ko sa formula ng free falling body. May time, may gravity. Pwedeng ito, or pwedeng ito. Ito na lang yung second formula na lang siguro. So Vy squared is equals to Poy squared minus 2Gy. Okay? So therefore, Py is equals to square root of Boy. Para makuha si Boy, gagamitin mo si initial velocity, which is 100. Okay? 100 sine 60 then squared. Minus 2 times gravity, 9.81 times y. Ano yung y mo? Yung nakuha mo kanina, which is 153.59. Okay, so masasolve natin si By. So square root of 100 sine 60 squared minus 2 times 9.81 times 153.59. Okay, so nakuha mo si y, which is 66.98 meters per second. So ang tanong dito, V at T is equals to 2 seconds. So para makuha si B, balik tayo sa concept ng statics. No? Since resultant yan, square root natin si Bx and si By. Tama? Bx squared, square root of Bx squared plus By squared. Therefore, velocity is square root of Bx squared plus By squared. Bx natin is 50, By natin is 66.98 squared. Squared plus 50 squared raised to 1/2. Okay, so 83.58. Check natin kung tama. Okay, lumabas. 83.58 meters per second. Then last hinahanap is yung range. What is the range? So range, gamitin na lang natin si shortcut formula para wala ng mahabang solution. So range is VO squared sine 2 theta over G. VO squared sine 2 theta over G. Okay? So VO natin is 100, initial velocity. 100 sine 60 times 2, 120 over gravity of 9.81. VO squared. So 100 squared. 100 squared sine 120 over 9.81. 88, ayun, tama. Okay, 882.7.8. Okay na yan. 882.8 meters. So, ganyan mag-solve sa projectile motion. Okay, meron pa ba? Meron pa. So, pag mga ganyan, i-direct sub na lang natin since range lang naman ang hinahanap, So, number 17. Direct sub ko na by using a shortcut formula. R is equals to BO squared sine 2 theta over G lang. VO natin is 30. Theta natin is 30 times 2 sine 60 over 9.81. 30 squared. Nalilimutan ko lagi yung squared. Ayun, 79.45. Okay? Okay. Next item. Number 18. A baseball is thrown from a horizontal plane with an initial velocity of 100 meters per second at an angle of 30 degrees above the horizontal. How long after the ball attains its original vertical level? How long? So, ibig sabihin time ang hinahanap. So, direct sum na lang din sa shortcut formula. Time is 2VO sine theta over T. Okay? 2, VO natin is 100 sine 30 over 9.81. 200 sine 30 over 9.81. Okay, so time natin is 10.2 seconds. Diba? Mas mabilis lang. Mabilis lang to. Ganyan na lang gawin nyo sa project time. Okay. Number 19, projectile is thrown with a speed of 100 feet per second in a direction of 30 degrees above the horizontal. Determine the highest point to which it rises. So highest point natin, always yan yung y max. Okay? So shortcut na lang din. Y max, shortcut formula natin is PO sine theta squared over 2G. Okay, initial velocity is 100 squared sine 30 squared 2 times 9.81. Okay, sine 30 squared over 2 times 9.81. Ay, feet pala to. Sorry. 32.2. Okay, sorry. Two times 32.2. Okay, 38.82 feet. Okay. Meron pa ba? Meron pa. Okay, number 20. Ito ata yung mahaba. A projectile is fired from a cannon with an initial velocity of 1,000 meters per second and an angle of 30 degrees from the horizontal. What distance from the cannon will the projectile strike the ground if the point of impact is 1,500 meters below the point of release? Okay. So, ito na yung last problem. So, medyo mahaba to. Try natin i-solve. So, binato mo daw yung object 1,500 meters above, ano? So, let's say nandito ka, no? Nandito yung cannon mo. Yan. So, from the ground hanggang dito sa nasan man yung nagbato, 1,500 meters daw yan. Okay? So, yan. So, meron kang angle of 30 degree. Then, initial velocity of 1,000 meters per second. So, tinatanong dito, distance from the cannon will the projectile strike the ground. So, hinahanap dito is yung range. Okay. Kaya ba ng shortcut to? BO squared sine 2 theta over T. Check mo nga. Ay, hindi ata. Sige, gamitin na lang natin yung formula ng free falling body. So, y is equals to PO sine theta T plus 1/2 GT squared. Okay? So, since nanggaling siya sa taas, no? So, pag nanggaling sa taas, again, y natin is negative. Okay? Then, also, yung gravity natin is negative 10. Kasi, hinagis mo pataas. Ilagay na natin to as negative, y as negative. Okay, so y natin is yung 1,500. So negative 1,500 is equals to initial velocity 1,000 sine 30 times t minus 1/2 9.81 times t squared. So, yeah, maganda dito mode 5.3 siguro. Okay. 1,000 sine 30. Then 0.5, negative 0.5 times 9.81. Constant natin is negative 1,500. Okay, time natin is, tama ba? 1,000 sine 30. Hindi, baliktad. Dapat negative 4 point, yung t squared. Negative 4 point, negative 1/2, negative 0.5 na lang, times 9.81, kasi yan yung t squared, di ba? So, mode 5.3, t squared t, tsaka constant. Okay, so 1,000 sine 30, tapos negative 1,500. Ayun, so 98 3.84 tsaka 3.09. Then check natin kung tama ba. Bakit ba ako nag-mode 5.3? Negative 1.5 is equals to 1,000 sine 30 alpha x minus 0.5 times 9.81 alpha x. Doon tayo sa positive value siguro. 100. 150. Negative ang lumalabas. T squared, sorry. 100. Ayun, 104.85. Okay. Ano bang tanong dito? What distance? So R ang tinatanong ano? Or X. Formula ng X natin, SPO, cosine theta times T. Initial velocity is 1,000. Cosine theta natin is 30 times 104.85. Okay, lumabas ba? Ayun. So letter D ang sagot. So 90,802.76. So napakalayo ano. Yeah, okay na yan. Okay na yan tayo sa projectile. So next topic na tayo. Kaya pa ba? Medyo mahaba tong dynamics. Diyan pa ba kayo? Baka mamaya, umalis na kayo.
Dito pa po, sir.
Dito pa, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Dito pa po, sir.
Okay, so maraming topic to. Next topic tayo. So rotational motions tayo. So again, hindi tayo mag-memorize ng formula dito ha. So mag-derive ulit tayo. So balik ulit tayo ng formula na na-derive natin sa rectilinear motion. So ang gagawin natin dito kapag rotational, since rotational, no, umiikot. So ang velocity, papalitan natin ng omega. Yung acceleration, papalitan natin ng alpha. Then yung ating distance, x, papalitan natin ng theta. Okay? So recall natin ang formula. V is equals to BO plus 80. Again, so ipalit natin tong tatlo, ano? Palitan natin yung V ng omega, then acceleration ng alpha. So ang magiging formula natin is omega is equals to omega sub plus alpha times time. So dyan na-derive yan, ha? Ang next formula, B squared is equals to BO squared plus 2AX. Again, palitan natin itong tatlo. So omega squared is equals to omega sub O squared plus 2 alpha times x natin, magiging theta. So 2 alpha theta. Alam ko sa formula ng flywheel ata ito, ano? I think, sa formula ng flywheel ata ito ginagamit. Then, next one, yung pangatlong formula, VOT plus 1 half 80 squared. So palitan lang natin. So x will become theta. Theta is equals to omega sub O times time plus 1 half alpha t squared. So, yeah, rotational motion. Okay. So, for conversion, ang gagamitin nating conversion is 2 pi over 60. No? So, Rad, kahit isulat po yan sa equation or hindi, pwede ano, simula naman siyang direct value. So kapag in terms of revolution per minute, ang conversion natin ay 2 pi rad. So yung 60 is the conversion of minute into seconds. Okay? So pag tinanong velocity, formula natin is radius ng ating let's say flywheel, radius times the angular velocity or the omega. Okay? Kapag tinanong acceleration, formula natin is radius times alpha or the angular acceleration. Then kapag tinanong is yung distance covered, formula natin is radius times theta. Okay? So yun, sige, natin sa problem. Okay, so dito tayo, number 21. Okay, so the rotor of a steam turbine is rotating at 7,200 revolution per minute when the steam supply is suddenly cut off. The rotor decelerates at a constant rate and comes to rest after 5 minutes. What was the angular deceleration of the motor? So deceleration, ibig sabihin, ang hinahanap dito is yung negative alpha. Si alpha yung ating acceleration, angular acceleration. So kapag deceleration, D or pwedeng landian nyo yung D nyo. Yan, kasi malandi rin yung alpha natin. Okay, so kunin natin si given. Meron tayong 7,200 revolution. So kapag RPM, ang symbol natin ay omega. So initial angular angular rotation, which is 7,200 RPM. So meron tayong time of 5 minutes. So yun nga, inahanap is the deceleration of the rotor. Okay? So solution. So sa tatlong formula na na-derive natin, saan bang pwede dito? Meron kang initial rotation, meron kang time. Hinahanap is si acceleration. Check natin sa formula. Ito siguro, yung first. No? So, omega is equals to omega sub O plus alpha t. Or kung pwede mong i-convert ng deceleration, ima-minus mo siya. Minus deceleration times time. Meron kang initial rotation, wala kang final rotation, wala kang deceleration, meron kang time. But kung i-analyze mo yung problem, yung turbine mo daw is suddenly cut off. Ibig sabihin, pinahinto. Therefore, from a word na cut off, your final rotation is equals to 0. So meron ka ng final rotation. So, masasolve mo na yung problem, direct sub lang pala siya. So 0 is equals to 7,200 RPM minus T times 5 minutes. Convert na natin siguro ng second. 60 seconds, 1 minute. Ay, hindi. Huwag na natin convert. Revolution per minute naman pala ito. So, lalabas natin dito is revolution per minute squared. Okay. So, 7,200 divide 5. So, 1,440. 1440 revolution per minute squared. Okay. So, ano bang kailangan? Rad, ano? So, convert na lang natin ng rad. So, 1 minute over 60 second squared. So, revolution per second, conversion ng rad to revolution is 2 pi. 2 pi rad per revolution. Cancel si minute. Cancel si revolution. So, rad per second squared ang lalabas. Divide 60 squared times 2 pi. Okay, so the answer is 2.51 or letter B. Therefore, deceleration is 2.51 rad per second squared. Okay? Okay, so next problem. So 22. So may flywheel na, no? Kung nabasa niyo yung password, ano, na sinend ko, 2019 and 2020. Yan, more on dynamics yung coverage nun. Then may mga flywheel. So yung flywheel, hindi lang siya under ng machine design, under din siya ng math kasi flywheel is under ng dynamics of rigid bodies. Okay? So kaya meron itong mga, may clutch pa nga ata dun sa ano, sa passport ng math. Check nyo na lang yung sinend ko na file. Okay, so next problem tayo, number 22. A flywheel rotates at 7,200 revolutions per minute when the power is suddenly cut off. The flywheel decelerates at a constant rate of 2.1 rad per second squared and becomes to rest 6 minutes later. How many revolutions does the flywheel make before coming to rest? Okay, so kunin muna natin yung given. So 7,200. Yan yung ating initial rotation. 7,200 RPM. And also we have deceleration of 2.1 rad per second squared. Okay? Then also meron tayong time of 6 minutes. So ang tinatanong dito is the revolution ng ating flywheel before coming to rest. How many revolution? Ang tinatanong dito, since unit mo lang is revolution, theta ang tinatanong dyan. Okay? So, theta is either in rad or in revolution. Okay? Okay. So, formula ng theta, so nanggaling siya sa x, no? X is equals to VOT or omega OT. Since deceleration, so minus 1/2 AT squared or DT squared. Okay. Theta is equals to 7,200 revolution per minute times time, which is 6 minutes, minus 1/2 2.1 rad per second squared times 6 squared. Unit mo dito is minute squared over second squared. So multiply mo ng 60 squared over 2 pi para maging unit mo is unit-wise revolution. Okay? So 7,200 times the 6 minus 0.5 2.1 times 36 36,000 over 2 pi. Okay. So the answer is 21,542. So ang pinakamalapit natin is approximately 22,000 revolution. Approximately 22,000 revolution. Okay. So next item. So elevator na tayo. So next topic na ulit tayo. Okay na tayo sa rotational. Mostly parang ano lang din siya, no? Parang rectilinear pero na-convert lang into rotation. So kayang-kaya nyo na yun. Okay, next topic is kinetics. Okay, sana kaya pa, no? Okay, kinetics deals with the study of bodies in motion, particularly the force involved in the acceleration. So meron tayong tatlo or apat na law of Newton na sinusunod. First law is the law of inertia. Second law is the law of acceleration. Third law, law of action and reaction. And last is the Newton's law of universal gravitation. Okay? So under rin to ng P6, ano, since mababago yung TOS nyo. Yeah. So kasama na rin to sa P6. So start muna tayo sa Newton's first law. So pag tinanong sa elements, ano yung Newton's first law? Yun yung law of inertia. A body at rest will remain at rest or in motion at a constant velocity unless acted upon by some unbalanced external force. So sa first law of Newton, dyan nanggaling yung summation of forces natin sa statics. So summation of force is equals to force net is equals to 0. So kapag ang summation ng force mo is equals to 0, therefore, your body is in equilibrium. So hindi sila gumagalaw. Okay? Ibig sabihin, balance sila. Okay, second law tayo. So kapag tinanong sa elements, second law of Newton, ano siya? Law of acceleration. The acceleration A of a body is directly proportional to the net force acting on it and inversely proportional to its mass. So dito nanggaling yung formula ng weight natin ano sa machine design. F is equals to mgo over gc. So sa second law of Newton nanggaling yung formula na yun. Okay? So A is directly proportional to force net over mass. Therefore A is equals to force net over mass. Then cross multiply yung mass tsaka yung acceleration. Therefore, force net is mass times the acceleration. Then third law, pag tinanong sa elements, ang tawag dyan is law of action and reaction. For every force that acts on one body, there is a second force equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Okay, so force mo is always equal doon sa reaction. Okay. Then last, ito ginagamit naman to sa mga satellites, sa mga orbit, ano, Newton's law of universal gravitation. Every particle in the universe attracts every other particle with a force which is directly proportional to the product of the masses of two particles inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the center of the mass. Formula natin sa Newton's law of universal gravitation, force is equals to G. G natin is constant, no? Nasa calculator yan, constant 39. G times M1, M2. So ito yung mass 1 mo, nasa Earth. Mass 2 yung sa satellite. Over S squared. So yung distance ng mass 1 hanggang sa mass 2. Okay? So mostly ang mga problem dito is direct sub. So kailangan kabisaduhin mo yung G and also yung mass ng Earth and also yung radius. So yung G natin is 6.67 times 10 raised to negative 11 Newton meter squared per kilogram. Again, nasa calculator yan, constant 39. Mass ng Earth, pakikabisado din, ano, 5.98 times 10 raised to 24 kilogram. Then radius ng Earth natin, approximately 6,400 kilometers. Then, kapag tinanong velocity of the orbiting satellite, formula natin, so same lang din, no? Nanggaling lang din sa kanina. F is equals to G M1 M2 over S squared. Mass ng Earth times mass ng satellite divided by S squared times yung G na constant. Okay? So, Kahit hindi ko na-discuss yung derivation, no? So, dito nakuha yung formula ng velocity of orbiting satellite. Kapag yan ang tinanong, formula natin is G times mass ng Earth over the S, yung distance from Earth hanggang doon sa satellite. Okay? Okay. Sige, sama ko na rin itong circular motion or kahit di na muna siguro. Sige, kahit hanggang doon na lang muna dito sa velocity of orbiting satellite. Try muna natin mag-solve. Kasi medyo mahaba ata na yung na-discuss ko. Okay, so elevator tayo. So concept ng elevator, nanggaling yan sa second law of Newton. Ano ulit yung second law? Law of acceleration. Saan na ba yan? Okay? So, kapag elevator problems, ang formula na gagamitin lang natin is summation of force net is equals to mass times the acceleration. Okay? So, ito lang yung pinagbasihan mo. Try natin yung number 23. An elevator weighing 15 kilonewtons start from rest and acquires an upward velocity of 3 meters per second in a distance of 6 meters. Determine its acceleration and the tension in the cable. Okay, so much better if ito-drawing nyo yung elevator, and also much better if na-master nyo na yung statics kasi more on summation of forces ang mangyari dito. Okay? So drawing natin yung elevator. Okay, so walang taong elevator ha. So weight lang ng elevator ang i-consider natin. So yung elevator, matic, meron niyang cable, ano? So cable yung nagtataas baba doon sa ating elevator. So since may cable yan, meron tayong tension dyan. Okay? Opposite ng tension is yung weight. Weight ng elevator, kapag may tao, i-consider mo din yung weight ng tao sa loob. Okay? So sinabi upward velocity, therefore your acceleration is pataas. Okay. So at a distance of 6 meters. Meron kang height, yun yung distance na na-reach ng elevator, which is 6 meters. Weight ng elevator, W, 15 kilonewton. Then meron kang velocity of 3 meters per second. Ang tinatanong dito is the acceleration. Okay. So, ang formula natin, Newton's second law of motion. Okay? So, ito ang concept na gagamitin natin. So, ano nga yun? Summation of forces or force net is equals to mass times acceleration. So, yung mass times acceleration, always yung opposite dun sa ating acceleration. So, kung mataas yung acceleration ng elevator mo, so, matik meron kang MA dyan na pababa. So, kung pababa yung acceleration, yung MA mo, pataas. Okay? Ganun din. Since mataas siya, pababa yung ating MA. Since weight ang given, pwede mo siyang i-write as weight times acceleration divided by gravity. Okay, so mag-summation of forces na tayo. Summation of force net is equals to MA. So, doon muna tayo sa pataas. So, meron tayong P. Tapos, pababa natin is yung W is equals to MA. Or pwede natin siyang i-rewrite as weight times acceleration over the gravity. Okay? May weight ka, given naman yan, 15 kilonewton. Acceleration, nawawala. Tension, nawawala din. Okay? Wala kang tension, wala kang acceleration. So, serve natin to as equation number 1. Okay. Since upward direction siya, pwede tayong gumamit ng formula, no? Yung sa kanina, yung sa may free-falling body. Ano? Okay. So, v squared minus 2gh. Since above yung final position mo, so gagawin mo plus yung sign mo dito. So, v squared is equals to bo squared minus 2 times acceleration times height. Okay? Since upward, gagawin natin siyang plus. Okay. Wait lang. Okay, so solve natin. Copy ko lang ulit, no? B squared is equals to BO squared plus 2AH. May final velocity ka ba? Starts from rest and acquires an upward velocity. So yung velocity mo na given is yung final velocity. Then nag-start siya from rest, therefore BO mo is equals to 0. Therefore, 3 squared is equals to 0 squared plus 2 times A, and given din si height, ano, which is 6 meters, yung height na na-cover. Ito. Okay, so masasolve natin si A. So 3 squared over 12. Okay, so 0.75. Unit natin dito is meters per second. Okay na si A, ano? Kung okay na si A, balik na tayo ng equation number 1. Makukuha natin si tension. Tension minus weight is equals to mass times acceleration, or weight times acceleration over gravity. So tension is equals to weight natin, 15 kilonewton, plus 15. Acceleration is 0. Meters per second squared. 75 meters per second squared over 9.81 meters per second squared. So unit-wise dito, no, magiging unit mo is kilonewton. 15 plus 15 times 0.75 over 9.81. Okay, therefore, tension ng ating elevator is 16.147. Unit natin is kilonewton. Ayan, so 16 tsaka 0.75. Okay, so always, pag dynamics na problem, mag-illustrate kayo ng figure. Okay, next item tayo. Number 24. Starting from rest, an elevator weighing 9,000 Newton attains an upward velocity of 5 meters per second in 4 seconds with uniform acceleration. What is the acceleration of the elevator? What is the weight of a 600 Newton man standing inside the elevator during the motion of the elevator? And what is the tension in the supporting cable? So sa next problem natin, meron ng tao sa loob ng elevator. So i-consider mo yung weight nun, ano? So para mas madali kang makapag-solve, ma-visualize mo yung problem, drawing mo yung elevator. Yan, let's say ito yung elevator natin, ano? Yan. Tapos may tao sa looban. Babae naman drawing natin. Okay? Okay. Then, sa cable, meron tayong tension. Tapos, contradicting force niyan is yung weight ng elevator. And also, meron din tayong weight ng tao. Pero weight ng person. WP. So, ang velocity natin is upward. Therefore, our acceleration is pataas. Kung acceleration mo ay pataas, meron ka ditong WA over G. Okay? So, summation of, kunin ko muna yung given siguro. So, given natin, weight ng person is 600 Newton. Weight ng elevator is 9,000 Newton. Then, meron tayong velocity of 5 meters per second. So, final velocity yan kasi sinabi dito, starting from rest. Okay, so VO mo is 0 meters per second. Final velocity is 5 meters per second. Okay, so ang hinahanap dito is what is the acceleration? What is the weight of 600 Newton man? Man pala. Lalaki pala. Okay. WM. No? So ano daw yung weight ng tao, ng lalaki doon sa loob ng elevator? Okay. And also the tension. Okay. So solution. So ang pinakamadaling kunin dito is yung ano ba maganda? Acceleration. Ano? Solve muna natin si acceleration. Saan natin makukuha? Sa formula ng velocity. Final velocity is equals to VO plus AT. Since VO is 0, therefore, 5 meters per second is equals to acceleration times time. May time ba na given? Ayun, 4 seconds. So 5 over 4 is 1.25 meters per second squared. So tama. Then next is yung weight daw nung man doon sa elevator. Mamaya na siguro to. Baka mahirap yan. Sa tension muna siguro tayo. Ay, sige. Unahin na natin to. Weight ng man. Okay. Try natin. Weight nung man sa elevator. So, dapat ang lalabas mo dito, since ang weight niya is 600, no? Dapat greater than 600. Parang yung assumption mo. Okay. Okay. Weight ng man sa elevator. Siguro maganda siyang gawan ng free body diagram. Kung ito yung men, no? So meron siyang weight na 600 Newton. Tama? So pababa yung weight niya, meron siyang opposite force in yung R. Newton's law number 3. No? Yan. For every force, there is a second force equal and opposite in direction. So F is equals to R. So dyan natin na-apply yan. Okay? Then, meron yung WA over G since yung acceleration mo is pataas. So mag-ano tayo, summation of forces vertical is equals to 0 or pwedeng is equals to MA. Parehas lang naman yun. No? Second law of Newton. Okay? So R minus 600 is equals to WA over G. So R is equals to 600 plus weight natin. Anong weight natin? So yung weight ng man yung gagamitin. 600. Acceleration, yung nakuha natin kanina, 1.25 over 9.81. So unit-wise naman yan. So, hindi naman siguro problema yan. No? So R, what is the reaction force? 600 plus 600 times 1.25 over 9.81. Okay, so R is 676.45. So yung reaction force, yan yung weight ng man sa ating elevator. Okay, so 676. Weight ng man sa elevator. Parang reaction force niya sa elevator. Okay. Then last na hinahanap is the tension. So kapag tension, dito na tayo magsasummation of forces doon sa mismong elevator. Okay? Okay, sige. So letter C is tension. So second law of Newton, we have summation of force net is equals to mass times the acceleration or WA over G. So yung weight na gagamitin mo dyan, dalawa, ano? Weight ng man and also yung weight ng elevator. Kasi pareha silang inahatak ng kable. Okay? So summation ng force natin, meron tayong tension minus weight ng elevator minus weight ng man. So tension, weight ng elevator, weight ng man is equals to WA over G. So yung weight natin is weight ng men plus weight ng elevator. Okay? Times acceleration over gravity. Okay. Sige. May weight pa tayo ng elevator na given. Meron naman. May weight din ng man. So, masasolve na natin to. So, tension minus weight ng elevator is 9,000. Weight ng man is 600. Minus 9,000 minus 600 is equals to 9,000 plus 600 over 9.81 times acceleration of 1.25. So, makuha na natin si tension ng elevator. So, 96 over 9.81 times 1.25 plus 96. Okay, so 10,823 Newton. Check natin. Yun, tama naman. Okay. Okay, so next. Okay, so number 25, meron na tayong coefficient of friction, ano? So I hope natatandaan pa yung formula kapag may coefficient of friction sa statics. Okay? So 25, determine the acceleration of the bodies in a cable if the coefficient of friction is 0.1 between the cable. Another fixed drum, A weighs 200 Newton and B weighs 100 Newton. Also determine the tension of cable supporting A and B. Ayun, yun na pala ang tanong. Okay. So determine the tension of the cable cables supporting A and P. So mas maganda sa 25, ito-drawing mo yung body mo, no? Bodies and cable, tension of cable supporting A and P. Okay. So ganito yung itsura niya, no? Yan. Ayan. Determine the acceleration between another fixed strong. Okay. So let's say nandito si A, which is 200 Newton. Okay. Then nandito si B, which is 100 Newton. So kung mas mabigat si A, malamang sa malamang ang rotation mo is papunta ng kanan. Pero kung ilalagay mo 200 Newton sa left, ang rotation mo ay pagano, pakaliwa. Okay? Ulitin mo. $200 Newton and okay, 100 Newton. So si 200, siya yung A, then ito yung B mo. Then mas mabigat si A, so therefore, rotation mo is pakanan. Okay, so yung kable niyan, may tension yan, ano? So given naman si mu, so i-consider natin siya, 0.10. Okay? So, ang maganda dito is, since complicated yung problem, ihiwa-hiwalay mo, no? So, gawan mo siya ng free body diagram. So, try muna natin gawa ng free body diagram yung belt muna siguro. So, kung hiwalay mo to, no? Meron kang tension dito ng A, meron kang tension dito ng tension ng B. Pwede natin gamitin yung formula, no? Sa rolling friction or dun sa may tension ng belt. Where slack side natin, tsaka tight side is A and B, no? So, TA over TB is equals to E raised to mu beta. So, I hope natatandaan nyo na. So, ilan yung rotation natin dito? Kalahati lang, no? 180. Kasi ito yung center, ano? So, let's say 180, ano lang siya, no? 180 degree. Therefore, TA is equals to TB E raised to 0.1. Since 180 lang rotation, hindi naman siya fully nag-rotate doon sa ating pulley, ano? So, beta natin is pi, 180. Okay? So, E raised to 0.1 pi. Okay, so 1.37 TB. So, equate natin siya as equation number 1. Then, ihiwalay natin si 100 Newton sa 200 Newton. So, at point P muna tayo. Okay? At point P, meron tayong 100 Newton, ano? 100 Newton, pababa yan. Then meron tayong tension ng cable at B. Pataas yan. Since rotation natin is papuntang kanan. Okay? So sa tension ng B, merong mag-opposite dyan na WA over G. So since rotation mo pa ganun, ano? Therefore, acceleration mo pataas. Okay. So summation of force Y is equals to mass times acceleration. So summation of force Y, we have tension at B minus 100 is equals to weight natin, no, 100 A WA over G, diba? So 100A over 9.81. So write natin in terms of TB. Sige, i-ano na lang muna natin. 100 plus 100A over 9.81. So serve natin as equation number 2. Since A nga is nawawala. Okay, so i-cut natin itong point at A. Ano? Itong 200 Newton. So gawan din natin ng summation of forces. So at point A, so point A, meron tayong 200 Newton na weight. Okay. So 200 Newton, pababa yan. And also we have tension at A. So tension yung nag-o-oppose dun sa weight mo. So pataas yun. Then, ano yung acceleration natin? Papunta sa kanan. Therefore, kung papuntang kanan yan, ang A natin ay pababa. So kung ang A mo pababa, opposite yung mass times acceleration. So kung pababa yung A, yung WA over GS pataas. So laging opposite yan, ha? So, okay. So summation of force Y is equals to 0. So since mataas yan, gawin nyo siyang negative. Okay? So positive TA, pababa 200 Newton is equals to negative WA over G. So write mo in terms of TA, 200 minus 200A over 9.81. So serve natin as equation number 3. So equation 1, 2, and 3, pagsama-samahin natin. So substitute equation 2 and 3 to 1. Okay, so ano equation 1 natin? TA is 1.37 TB. So ano yung TA? Manggagaling ng equation number 3. 200 minus 200A over 9.81 is equals to 1.37. TB natin is 100 plus 100A over 9.81. So unit-wise, no? Kasi A na lang ang variable natin. So pwede na natin i-shift solve. X over 9.81 is equals to 1.37 100 plus 100A over 9.81. Okay, so shift solve. Acceleration natin is 1.83 meters per second squared. So check natin kung tama. So ayan, 1.83. Then next na hinahanap is the tension of the cable A and B. So since meron na tayong equation, ano, meron na tayong acceleration, makuha na natin si tension B and also si tension A. So solve muna natin si tension A. Substitute na lang natin, ano, 200 minus 200 times 1.83 over 9.81. So makuha mo si TA, so same lang din kay TB. So si TB is 100 plus 100 times 1.83 over 9.81. Okay. 200 times 1.83 over 9.81. So 162 or approximately 163. 162.69 Newton. Then last, tension at B. Pagta na lang natin ito, no? 100. And ito plus 100. Okay, so 118.65. Okay, check natin. Okay, 180. So yeah, yan yung 25, ano? Newton's law of motion number 2 and 3, yung ginamit natin. Okay, so next item tayo, number 26. Okay, 26, if the pulley shown are weightless and frictionless, determine the acceleration of block A and B and the tension of the cable supporting block B. Ang haba naman ito. Okay, so sa 26, medyo komplikado to, no? Kasi kulang yung given natin. So, maraming equation ata ito. Sige, try natin i-solve, ano? Kung gusto niyo assignment na lang. So, kapag ganito, oh shit, wala. Bumalik na ba yung screen ko?
Opo, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. So, kapag ganito, no, may makita kang ganyan. So, ang rotation niya pag ganyan, di ba? Papunta sa right din, parang yung kanina, no? From here, here, and dyan. Pwede ka maglagay ng points dyan. So, let's say yan yung point 1 natin, tapos meron din dito nga pababa na tension, no? So let's say point 1 to, itong pababa na 300 Newton, then ito point 2. No? Yung acceleration ng point 2, pare-pares lang naman yan, ano? Kasi yan, pababa lang naman siya. No? So let's say, yeah, point 2 yan lahat. Yan, okay? Then dito sa 300 Newton, since hindi naman na-cover lahat nung dun sa pulley natin, ano? So therefore, ang acceleration dito is kalahati lang. So one half lang dito yung distance na nako-covered, one half lang yung velocity, and also one half lang yung acceleration natin. Then dito sa 200 Newton, yung ating S, yung velocity tsaka acceleration ay hindi kalahati. Kasi mababa na yan. Okay. So pwede natin i-assign yung acceleration sa A as A over 2. Then yung acceleration natin sa B is equals to yung mismong acceleration. Okay, so mas magandang isolve to if gagawa natin siya ng free body diagram. So again, technique sa mechanics, kapag komplikadong problem, pag hiwa-hiwalayin, i-cut natin into small pieces yung free body diagram para madali siyang i-analyze. So i-cut muna natin at block A. Okay? So, dito muna tayo sa block A. Yung 300 Newton. Yan. Yan muna tayo. Meron kang pulley, ano? So, meron kang tension na dalawa. Okay? Tapos meron kang tension na pababa. Yung tension mo ay nilagyan natin as 0.2, no? So, lalagay mo yan, tension 2. Ito, tension 2. Then yung pababa, nilagay natin as 0.1. Therefore, lagay natin as T1. Okay, so gawa tayo ng equation dyan. So, summation of f of y is equals to MA. Or since tension lang naman siya, summation of f of y is equals to 0. Okay? So, ang equation natin at block A by using tension is T1 is equals to 2 T2. Tama? Serve natin yun as equation number 1. Okay. Then mag-cut ulit tayo ng saan ba pwede maganda mag-cut dito? Okay, sa point A ulit tayo no? Kasi hindi pa natin nako-consider yung 300 Newton na weight. So, i-consider natin yung block naman sa point A. Point A pa rin to. So, 300 Newton. So, ang weight niyan, pababa, ano? Block A na lang sulat ko dito. Yan. So, ang weight tong A, pababa. So, weight, opposite yan is tension. So, 0.1 yung ating A. So, therefore, tension 1. Ang acceleration niyan, dito sa A natin is pag ganun, ano? Pataas. Tama? Yan, pag ganyan, pataas. So, therefore, A natin is upward. Yung WA over G is downward. Okay? Then, gawa tayo ng summation of force Y is equals to MA. So, summation of force natin, dalawa lang yan. T1, pataas, minus 300. Is equals to, mass natin, since walang mass, ang given ay weight. So, weight times acceleration over gravity. Weight natin is 300. Acceleration natin at A over 2, di ba? Malinaw na malinaw. Over gravity, which is 9.81. So, write natin in terms of T1, ilipat lang natin si 300 kabila. So, lipat ko lang. So, T1 is equals to 300 plus 300, A over 2 over 9.81. So, serve natin as equation number 2. Then, okay na tayo sa block A. Punta na tayo sa block B. At block B naman, kapag kinat mo yung pulley niya, di ba? Ganyan lang naman yan. T2 is equals to T2. So, hindi mo na kailangan yan. Diyos ko, T2 is equals to T2 lang yan. So, wag mo na i-consider yung pulley, no? Dito na tayo mag-focus sa block at A. Okay. So, we have block at B pala, sorry. So, doon tayo sa block B. Ilan yung weight niya? 200 Newton. So, pababa yan. Opposite ng weight is yung tension. Tension of what point? So, inassign natin sa PS, point 2. So, T2 yan. Okay? Then, acceleration natin is pababa, ano? So, acceleration natin is pababa. Therefore, yung ating WA over GS pataas. So, kapag pataas yung WA over G, negative siya. Kasi upward yung direction niya. Okay, so summation of forces tayo. Summation of force Y is equals to MA at point B. So, summation ng forces Y, T2 minus 200 is equals to negative WA. W natin is 200 over 9.81. Since yung A natin is equals to AB naman, so write na natin in terms of A na. Okay? Therefore, T2 is equals to 200 minus 200A over 9.81. So again, equation number 3. So na-write mo in terms of T2, na-write mo in terms of T1, substitute mo sa equation number 1. So substitute equation 2 and 3 to equation number 1. Okay? So T1 is equals to 2T2. T1 natin nasa equation number 2, 300 plus 300 A over 2 over 9.81 is equals to 2 quantity. T2 is 200 minus 200A over 9.81. So unit-wise, A na lang ang unit natin. So, pwede na natin i-shift solve. So 300 plus 300 alpha x over 2 times 9.81 is equals to 2 times 200 minus 200 alpha x over 9.81. Okay, so acceleration natin is 1.78 meters per second squared. Okay? Yeah, so 1.78. Then, ano pang kinukuha dito? Determine the acceleration and the tension. So tension, same process nung kanina, no? Substitute natin sa equation number 2 and equation number 1. So kahit di ko na i-ano, no? From equation number 2, 1.78. So direct na natin ang calculator. 300 plus 300 times 1.78 over 2 times 9.81. Okay, so tension at dali ko na naman. $164 dapat. Teka, huwag ko na nga mandaliin. Tension nung B pa lang hinahanap. Okay, T2 pala ang kailangan. From equation number 3 pala dapat. Okay. Ulit. 200 minus 200. A natin is 1.78 over 9.81. Okay, so 163.71 or 164. So ano yung isa? Teka. Ano yung 0.89? Determine the acceleration. Okay. So, acceleration ng A and P. So, ang nakuha pala natin kanina is the acceleration of of P. Tama, kasi AB is equals to A. Therefore, para makuha si acceleration ng A is A over 2. Acceleration ng A is A over 2. 1.78 divide 2. So, yun, 0.89. Meters per second square. So, yun yung 0.89 dyan. Okay? Okay. So, next topic. So, next topic is combination ng sliding force, combination ng pulley, and yung concept ng elevator. So, ito na yung pinakamahirap siguro. Okay, so try natin i-solve 27. So, in the figure shown, determine the following, the magnitude W. So, ito yan. So that 400 Newton body will have an acceleration of the plane of 1.2 meters per second squared. Determine the tension and the load W. Okay? So ang required dito is tension and let's say tension 1, tension 2, and also yung weight W. Okay, dito ko na lang i-drawing siguro yung okay. So dito na lang tayo maghiwa, ano? Gawa ng line. So balik tayo ng statics ulit, ano? So yan. Then, lagyan natin ng horizontal component. Ayan. Okay. Okay. So, meron tayong acceleration of 1.2 meters per second squared. So, dito, meron tayong force N. So, weight natin is pababa, ano? So, weight natin dyan is pababa. Ay, hindi pataas siguro. Kasi yung slide mo, papunta dito, ano? So, opposite siya nung sa statics natin. So, weight natin dito is pataas. Tama ba yung analyzation ko? Tama ba? Diba? Pag ganyan eh. So, yung weight natin na 400 Newton, pataas yan. Okay? Ayan. So, naglagay na ako ng arrow. So, yung Y component natin, 30 degree, no? So, 30 degree rin to. Y component is 400 cosine 30. Yung ating X component is 400 sine 30. Okay. So, ang acceleration natin is papunta doon sa may weight. Okay. So, meron tayo ditong frictional force papunta ng right, ano? Right, dito ko nila isulat. Frictional force. And, okay na siguro yan, no? So, i-ano na lang natin. Pag-iwa-iwalayin. Dito sa weight, ano bang maganda dito? So, sa weight natin, no, parang yung kapalas ng kanina, no? So, pababa siya vertically. Then, kalahati lang yung masasakop. I'm sorry. Parang ito, no? Parang ganyan yung itsura niya kanina. Yung weight natin. So, therefore, yung S natin, velocity and acceleration is equals to 1/2 din. No? Kasi same figure lang naman sila. Yan. Okay. So 1/2 A, 1/2 S, and 1/2 velocity. Okay. Then, assign natin to as 0.1, 0.1, and assign natin to as 0.2. So siguro sa pulley muna tayo mag-focus. Ano? Ayan ang pinakamadali eh. Okay? So meron kang T1, T1, then pababa mo is meron kang T2. Therefore, 2T1 or pwedeng T2 no? T2 is equals to 2T1. Equation number 1. Then focus tayo sa weight. Gawin natin ng free body. So, ito yung W, no? Or weight ng block. So, W is pababa. Acceleration niya is pababa din. Therefore, negative yung iyong WA over G. And also, meron kang tension dito. So, ang inassign natin na point is 0.2. So, T2. Okay, so pwede tayo mag-summation of force dito. Since given weight mo is equals to 400 Newton. Ayan. So summation of force Y is equals to MA. Okay. So tension 2 minus weight is equals to negative, ano acceleration natin dito? Kalahati, ano? WA over 2G. Okay, so may weight tayo. Wala tayong acceleration. Write natin to as equation number 2. Mamaya na natin ayusin yan. Okay, so doon tayo sa block. Summation of force Y tayo. At block. So wag na nating ilipat sa ano. Wag na nating ilipat sa Cartesian plane. So direct na tayo mag-summation of force. Pero yung force na pag ganyan is positive. Okay? So yung upward force natin, yung N, positive N. Tapos, yung cosine, 400 cosine 30 is weight, ano? So, pababa din. So, yeah, minus. Cosine 30 is equals to 0. Therefore, N is 400 cosine 30. Okay, 346.41. Ang kinonsider lang natin is yung ano yung block ha. Kaya yung 400 cosine 30 pababa siya. Pero pag i-consider mo yung whole na system, yung 400 cosine 30 component YS papataas. So I hope clear yun, no? So, at block lang to ha. Neglecting yung weight natin. Okay? Okay. Okay. So formula ng frictional force is mu times n, no? Given naman yung mu, which is 0.20. 0.20 times 346.41 Newton. Times 0.20. Okay, so 69.28. Okay. May acceleration pala. Ito pala tong equation ko. Okay. Sige, mamaya na yan. Okay. So, since may acceleration, try na natin tong equation number 2. Pala sabi ko para may tunaw. Pwede na siguro tong equation number 2, no? So, T2 So T2 is equals to W minus WA over 2G. Ay, wala ring T2. Tsaka walang W. So hindi pa rin pwede. Saan pa ba pwede dito? Okay, sige. Dito tayo ulit sa sliding block. Dito ulit. Mag-summation of forces tayo with respect to acceleration. So summation of f of x is equals to MA at sliding block. Okay? Kasi y pa lang naman yung nasa summation natin. So itong 400 sine 30 is going right. Wait lang. Okay. Okay. So mali assumption natin. So si weight pababa pala siya. Ay, siya. So assumption ko pababa ulit. Gawin ko yung assumption ko sa weight mo. So si weight natin, assume natin na pababa. Then also yung x and y component. So pakanan. Tama. Acceleration natin papunta doon. Okay. So summation of f of x is equals to MA. So consider natin tong tension 1. Let's say going right. Okay. So T1 minus yung going left, 400 sine 30. Assumption pa lang to, hindi pa ako sigurado. Minus yung frictional force, which is yung nakuha natin kanina. Is equals to WA over G. Okay? So T1 is equals to 400 sine 30 plus frictional force 69.28 plus weight natin is 400 Newton Ano, kasi under siya ng tension 1. Acceleration of 1.2 over 9.81. So try lang to, hindi pa to sigurado. Plus 69.28 plus 400 times 1.2 over 9.81. Okay, so 318.21. Check natin kung may 318. So yun, lumabas. So therefore yung weight natin, though may resisting force ka dito, nung 400 Newton, so ang weight mo is going down. Yun yung assumption natin. Okay? So I hope naintindihan yun. Okay. So nakuha mo na si T1. Makukuha mo na si T2, which is T2 is 2 times T1. 2 times 318.21. Okay, so 636 Newton. Okay. Then last is yung weight, ano? Load W. So ito yung consider natin. Okay. So T2 minus W is equals to negative WA over G. Where yung A mo is, ito, pwede na siguro tong equation number 2. No? Kuha na natin pala. So try natin to kung makuha natin yung W dyan. So from equation 2, we have T2. So 636 minus W is equals to W times acceleration 1.2 over 2 times gravity. Okay? So makuha natin si W. So 636 minus alpha x is equals to alpha x times 1.2 over 2 times 9.81. Shift solve, 599. Ang layo Teka. So, wait lang. 2 times 318.2. 636.4. So, try natin yung exacto. So, 636.4. Negative pala to. Okay, so ulitin natin. 636.4 minus alpha x is equals to negative alpha x times 1.2, 2 times 9.81. Ayun, lumabas. 677. Okay? Hirap pala na ito. Okay, so 677 Newton. 0.85. Nako, may mga ganitong problem pa. Okay na, may tanong ba sa number 27? So yan na yung pinakamahirap sa mahirap. So mga susunod na problem, madadali na lang naman na yan. So next topic na tayo. Tapusin na natin. Ano oras na? Okay, so next topic tayo, which is pendulum. Ito ba yung PowerPoint? Kita niyo ba yung PowerPoint?
Yes po, sir.
Yes po, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So last topic na to sa dynamics, conical pendulum. Okay, so conical pendulum, meron tayong f of n, meron tayong weight, and meron tayong tension. May nauna pa ata dito. Ito muna. Uniform circular motion muna tayo. So meron tayong dalawang force, centrifugal force and centripetal force. Pag sinabing centripetal force, center seeking, no? Kapag sinabing centrifugal, center fleeing. Centripetal, papunta ka ng center, yung force mo. Centrifugal, palayo ng center. Okay? So yun lang yung pagkakaiba niya. So force natin, either centripetal or centrifugal, formula natin is mass times normal acceleration or AC. Where AC is p squared over r or r times omega squared. For non-uniform circular motion, so gagamit lang tayo dito ng AT. AT is the tangential force, no? Square root of AC plus AT squared. Okay? So yun yung A total natin. So mostly dito direct sub lang naman din. Kasi nanggaling lang naman siya sa force times force is equals to mass times acceleration, no? Okay. So conical pendulum, same concept lang din sila. Tangent theta is p squared over gr. Same lang din doon sa banking of highway curves. Okay? So meron tayong weight dito, no? Yung sa car. And opposite ng weight is normal force. Meron tayong force na centrifugal, which is mv squared over r. So kapag ginamitan mo yan ng polygon method, ito yung magiging itsura niya, no? So dito si weight pababa, normal force pataas, then going to right si centrifugal force. So when solving for angle nung ideal banking angle, ang formula natin is tangent p squared over gr. Okay? Then kapag may friction na, so meron na tayong angle phi. So yung sign mo dito, positive kapag velocity max ang hinahanap. Ang sign mo dito is negative kapag minimum velocity ang hinahanap. So same formula pa rin, p squared over gr. Nadagdagan ka nga lang ng phi, ano? Which is ito. Where para makuha mo si phi, i-shiftan mo si mu. Alam ko, same formula rin to sa power screw, ano? Para makuha mo si phi. Sinishiftan si mu. Okay. So, yun lang yung concept. So, try natin i-solve para matapos natin ng saktong 9. So, number 28. An automobile weighing 1,455 kilogram transverses a 458 meter curve at a constant speed of 48 kilometer per hour. Assuming no banking on the curve, find the force acting on tires necessary to maintain the motion along the curve. Okay. So, ang formula na gagamitin natin dito is yung formula no centrifugal force, since ang condition natin dito is no banking, ano? Okay? So, formula ng centrifugal force is mass times AC. Okay. But what is AC? AC is the normal centrifugal acceleration. Ito. So AC, pwede nating i-rewrite as P squared over R. Okay? So same lang din yan sa formula ng banking. So, MB squared over R. So dyan ang galing yung sa formula ng banking. So M, yung AC, P squared over R. Okay. So meron kang mass, 1,455. Yung 458, since curve yan yung iyong radius. Tama? Then also meron kang speed, yan yung iyong velocity. So direct sub lang tong number 28. So 1,455 kilogram. Velocity is 48. So direct conversion into meters per second, i-divide ko ng 3.6. Squared, meters squared per second squared. Over R, which is 458 meters. Okay? So kilogram meter per second squared is considered as Newton. So ang sagot mo dito ay in terms of Newton. 1455. Okay. Okay. Nakapagod pa lang haba pa lang ito. 48 over 3.6 squared. Divide na lang natin. 458. Ayan. So 565 Newton approximately. Okay. So next item. 29. So at what RPM is the Ferris wheel turning when the riders fell weightlessness or zero gravity every time each rider is at the upmost part of the wheel 9 meters in radius? Let's say ito yung center ng ating Ferris wheel, ano? So at top down ng Ferris wheel, so zero gravity yung nararamdaman nung nakasakay. So let's say ito yung pinaka-top ng Ferris wheel, then ito yung pinaka-bottom. Okay? Yan. So magro-rotate yan. So rotation natin is counterclockwise. Okay? Let's say, yan. Couple yung nakasakay dyan. Ayan. Okay? So ang tinatanong dito is yung speed ng Ferris wheel, ano? Kung saan makakaramdam ng zero gravity yung nasa top yung nakasakay. Okay. Okay. So ang formula na approachable dito is yung ito. Ito siguro no, yung circular motion. Tama. Kasi nasa curve. Kasi umiikot yung Ferris wheel. Okay? Okay. Meron tayo ditong weight. Weight nung nakasakay. Contradicting force dito is yung centrifugal force. Okay? So summation of f of y is equals to 0. Centrifugal force is equals to the weight. Tama. Okay, so anong formula natin ng centrifugal? Pwede natin gamitin itong R omega squared times mass, no? Since yung AC, palitan natin ito. So mass times R omega squared. Formula ng weight natin is mass times gravity. Cancel natin yung mass. Therefore, kailangan natin yung speed, i-write natin in terms of omega. Omega is equals to G over R tapos raised to 1/2 or square root of G over R. Okay. So square root of 9.81 over radius natin is 9, ano? Over 9. Unit mo dito is meters per second squared over meter or simply rad per second squared. Okay. So square root of 9.81 over 9 is 1.4 04. Okay, so square root mo yung rad per second squared. Ang unit mo dito is rad per second. So convert natin si rad. RPM ang hinahanap, ano? So rad and second yung ko-convert natin. So 60 seconds is equals to 1 minute. Then 2 pi rad is equals to 1 revolution. Okay? So cancellation of units. Okay, cancel si rad, cancel si second. RPM na yung unit mo dito. Okay, so 1.04 times 60 over 2 pi. So 9.97. So tama naman. 9.97 RPM. Okay, next problem. Last two na lang to. Sakto, 4 hours. Okay, number 30. Determine the angle of super elevation of a highway curve of 183 meter radius so that there will no side transport speed of 72 kilometers per hour. So meron kang radius, meron kang speed. Ang gagamitin yung formula is yung sa banking. So super elevation ang sinabi. Super elevation of highway curve. So yeah, formula ng banking, ano? Pinanap dito is yung elevation, which is yung theta. Formula ng theta, so tangent theta. Is equals to b squared over gravity times the radius. Okay? So theta is equals to, velocity mo is 72, direct conversion ng meters per second is, i-divide mo ng 3.6. So unit mo dito is meter squared per second squared over 9.81 meter per second squared. Radius mo is 183 meters. Then i-tangent inverse natin. Okay, so cancellation of unit, cancel yung meter, then second squared. So walang unit yung angle. Okay. Tangent inverse of okay. Okay. So 72 over 3.6 squared over 9.81 times 183. Okay, so 12.56 degree. Okay, so last item tayo. Sa wakas, 31. Okay, on a normal day, the rated speed of a highway curve of 100 meter radius is 65 kilometers per hour. If the coefficient of friction between the tires and the road is 0.6, what is the maximum speed in kilometers per hour at which a car can round the curve without skidding? Okay. Okay, so 31 under siya nung, ito na, may friction na siya kasi may skidding na tinatawag. Okay? Okay. So, ibang tanong dito. Maximum speed, ano? So, Vmax ang tinatanong. So, at normal highway, no? Normal curve, ideal banking, formula natin is b squared over gr. Tangent theta is equals to b rated at yung rate niya at normal curve or normal highway over gr. Okay? So at normal highway, meron siyang rate of 65 kilometers per hour. So 65 divided by 3.6 squared, meter squared per second squared. over 9.81. Radius natin is 100. Okay? Then meters per second squared. Yun. So makukuha natin dito yung angle, ano? Therefore, theta is equals to, so dito na lang, 65 over times 100. Okay, so theta natin is 18.38 degree. Okay? So balik tayo sa formula nung may angle friction. So since Bmax ang hinahanap, ano? So ang gagamitin nating sign dito sa formula natin is positive. Tama? Okay, so yeah, i-direct sub na natin para matapos na tong ano natin. So tangent theta plus P plus kasi Bmax ang hinahanap is equals to Bmax squared over GR. Okay? So saan natin kukunin si P? So sabi dito, makuha mo si P by using yung mu, which is 0.06. Okay? So P is equals to tangent inverse of 0.6. Shift tan 0.6. Okay, so si P natin is 30.96 degree. Okay, so direct sub na. Tangent of 18.38 plus 30.96 is equals to Bmax squared over 2 over 9.81 times R, which is 100. So unit natin dito, unit-wise, meters per second. Therefore, Bmax is equals to, so tangent 18.38 plus 30.96 is equals to alpha x squared over 9.81 times 100. Shift solve. Okay, so 33.8. So nakuha natin. Meters per second. So yun lang. So yun na lahat ng coverage ng mechanical sa dynamics of rigid bodies. So ito tinatapos natin. So may tanong ba regarding on our discussion?
Sir, pasend na lang po uli ng ano. Yan po. Thank you.
Okay, sige. Okay, so kung wala nang tanong, sige. Mag-dismiss na tayo. Check ko na lang attendance sa Google Meet attendance. Thank you for attending and class dismissed.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po, sir.